It's beginning. It's true. Now it's happening. Hello. This is a random hangout. I didn't know that I would have been the one expected to do this. You fucking assholes. But here it is. Basically,
Stop
me
bitching.
and the social justice people and the non-anti-social justice people who don't like that kind of thing. We were just chatting about whether reporting tweets and flagging is good or bad, and then we just like we have to talk about it. So somebody do something, please.
It's bad. Don't do that.
It's wrong, or isn't it?
Yeah.
Maybe it's good. Let's hear from the people who like it first. Who's that? Chrissy.
There's nobody here that likes the flagging.
Well, okay. I mean, I could start because like my Twitter got reported because I did a tweet. Like I was watching a video by what happened was I was watching a video by TJ Kirk like half a year ago or whatever, when he was talking about fascism and that guy T, and every 2 seconds he kept saying the word retard for no reason. I couldn't understand. Like he was like, fascism is retarded. Man, that guy T is such a retard or whatever. And I was just watching this, like, I don't know why he just keeps unnecessarily saying retarded all the time. So I went on Twitter and I was like, I can't stand it how people like always just throw in fucked up words just to be edgy. Like I'm making a legitimate point about fascism, but I also have to like throw in retarded because I'm such an edgelord or whatever. So I was like, kike nigga faggot. Now, am I an edgelord? Am I like, is my point worth more now? You know? So that's kind of the point I was making. And then
banned.
Last week just said, this tweet, kike nigga faggot, am I now some kind of edgelord, blah blah, has been reported, and then my Twitter was locked for like 6 days. So to make a new Twitter, and then Charming Man 93, who I have to throw under the bus right now, in his video was like, that's against the terms of service, so like maybe that should be reported, blah blah blah. So I was basically saying my new one should be reported, and then pretending that he wasn't saying that. And then I got another flag on my new one, but it wasn't like a locking flag. It was like just a warning. So it said, I can only tweet to my followers or something. It restricted something on there. Because I think I was in an argument with someone about how annoyed I was getting reported, and then during that argument, someone reported me. I'm just like, I don't know why people are doing this. Like,
but
yeah.
Tim, you did use bad words.
That's true. And it's my tactics being used against me, because this is the kind of thing I do. So I have to be reported, even though I have never reported somebody just because I don't like them or they said rude words. Like I would probably only report someone if they were like, here's some doxing info. Like, oh, I know where you live. Here's your house. I'd be like, that's fucked up. Report that. Or if someone was like, hey, I'm going to come, I don't know, fucking decapitate you with a rusty knife, and
then you should call the police.
Have sex with the wound of your decapitated head. I'd be like, all right, report, But if someone's just like says something rude, I'm not going to report that, So people just reporting people for using swear words, basically, Anyways, that's my story. And then Kevin Logan keeps getting flagged. And also there's a list that is on poll of channels that people are like saying, flag these channels to shut down the SJW because that's what they do. So vengeance. Whee!
Well, I know that list hurts you. Actually, when I saw that today, man, that really upset me. And the thing is, I feel like I'm being driven to the middle on this whole thing in almost every aspect, because what seemed to make the far, not even the far left, but the SJWs and those things, what seemed to be the rallying cry for everybody who was against them was like, do these bad things. They flag us and they try to hurt our free speech and try to take it away. And then that has evolved now into this, well, they do it. And the problem is, if you're going to stand on the side of unlimited free speech, and you can do it however you want, that's not an option for you. You don't get to say, well, they did it first. You're on the side that is inherently against that.
And it's not even just that, but they're also like, they're taking it out on innocent bystanders. They're like, oh, this person has the exact same or very similar ideological opinion, so let's do what other people who have similar ideas to them also do, because I don't like what that person does, even though like I'm flagging someone that has nothing to do with it. Like, that shit makes no sense at all. Like, you can't hold one person accountable for something that somebody else does if they are not actively saying, yeah, do that thing.
Well, I mean, you know, devil's advocate would be like, there are feminists and like Tumblr social justice people who do try to flag people down for like stuff that's not necessarily a good thing to flag someone down for, you know, and not necessarily legitimate. And it could be because they do see some speech as more threatening or worthy of being flagged than somebody else might see it. So they do flag down stuff that shouldn't be flagged down sometimes. I think the problem is just when you start lumping everyone together and being like, because there's some feminists who do that, that means that I have to just get a list of just random social justice people and just say, all right, all of you are guilty. Even if I haven't found out your specific views on this issue, you're in that kind of ilk or that kind of swamp or something, so you must be guilty, you know? And I think that's exactly a stupid point.
Guilt by association is dumb, and trying to hold people accountable for things that other people have done is dumb. But also, like, there's double standards are dumb. You can't sit there and say, like, it's dumb, like, it's bad to flag. Don't, like, false flag people that aren't doing anything wrong. Oh, wait, but, like, this group of people is doing it, so now it's okay for us to do it against them? No, that's not.
But I'm sure we'd all agree that there are some, like, dirty, evil feminazis out there who do flag unfairly.
Yeah.
I mean, they exist.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to go flag them just to make the point of flagging as bad. That makes no sense.
Well, I would say also, don't think that the right is innocent in flagging or in harming speech. You know, I did a whole video before a long time ago, and now it's gone because, you know, I had that, I had a different avatar, and long story. But I was basically saying, look, you know that when the free speech badness comes down, it comes down on minorities first. It's going to come down on people who are marginalized, who can't afford a lawyer to go and fight it out or whatever. So don't do it, because, you know, that was my entire argument. Like, start from the position that the more people who can hear you is better. You know, and I totally understand all the arguments that people give about free speech. You are really distracting me with this combing of
He's got dandruff. This dandruff situation is fucking out of control, and I've got a brush, and it has to be dealt with. How can I just sit here while my cat has dandruff?
I'm supposed to be making an intelligent point. It's
apparently
not working
if you give them tuna and omega-3, it helps the coat, but it hasn't worked so far. Look at all this fucking dandruff. All right, go on.
I've completely lost the thread. Somebody else will have to be smart instead.
Yeah, I'm too drunk to be smart, but I really don't think that this is like a left versus right type of situation. I think this is mostly just village idiots on the internet doing stuff.
Yeah,
I think
tribalism, yeah. I think is a big part of this. And let me tell you, let me show you an example of it being seen as a positive thing, not the flagging, but the tribalism part. The part with Sargon, when Anita, lashed out at him at VidCon and called him a garbage human. Suddenly, Twitter became filled with people who are garbage something or another. Tons of them. Everyone's got garbage in their name. It's the same as when Hillary Clinton called Trump deplorable, and everybody's deplorable Jack, deplorable Tim, deplorable John.
That's like Coffee. Everyone was like Coffee Bill. Yeah,
Coffee Bill. And the thing is, like, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I feel like you can agree without having to just fall in line, and just have a name that says that. So my Twitter feed is just filled with garbage. I mean, it's always filled with garbage, but literally
filled with garbage. Like this is seriously actual garbage here.
Yes.
Like
I'm like, we
garbage.
get it.
It's some
We
insult.
get it.
Yeah,
So-
but quickly on that, what's even worse is that some people actually got Kofefi tattoos.
Oh my
No.
god!
Yeah,
Damn it!
Really?
yeah.
That's savage.
I know.
I'm sorry.
I want fans where like just if something funny
Oh my
happens. on
god!
the
I
channel,
just
they'll put it in
accidentally dipped
names.
my ass and my jeans straight into this pool.
I don't.
Yeah.
That
There's
wasn't
not,
an accident, and no one believes it.
there was not a chair there. I don't know what the hell he's doing.
Oh, hey, Jeff.
But I think like with the Sargon reporting situation, the thing that stood out to me about that is they were all saying she broke the TOS, she broke the terms of service. Which I mean, I don't know. Do you think that's true, Chrissy? You probably did.
I
by
broke
saying,
the terms of service.
yeah,
I
because
totally
you were
did.
like, I'm going to insult him every
I'm
day.
glad I did. I have
But-
no problem with that.
But the issue to me there is just that like he wasn't really hurt or offended or insulted, and I just think like, you know, you should use the report function because you actually give a shit. Otherwise, just block them or whatever. Because you could
He
be
was
like,
hurt.
I'm gonna
Did you see
I'm gonna
that
tweet
video?
at you every day, or just be like, all right, well, block or just mute. I don't know why you hit the report button if you don't care. Like, you know, like hardcore like super lefty feminists, they legitimately care about it, so they hit the report button because they're like, I'm being harassed and this is dangerous to me and this is whatever. But when Sargon did it, he was just like, I'm just doing it because it's funny and I just want to fuck with you.
No,
know? And I
he
think that's a
cared.
stupid way to report stuff.
Did you
Like,
see his
if you're
video,
gonna report
Tim?
stuff, do it because you actually want to, because it
Tim.
you actually care at all.
Shut the hell up for a second.
No,
Did you see his video?
you dare.
Where he
talk
was
about-
like, no, where he was like, I don't care about your feelings because you don't care about mine. Like, what the fuck? Dude.
we need
No,
to
I
validate
don't.
each other's feelings here. Come on, people.
I really don't. But I'm fine. I'm fine with the 12-hour thing. I told him I was fine with it. And I've blocked him so he never has to hear me again. He's going to be okay.
Well, there were
He'll-
some people saying like it's
We'll
not
get through
like
it.
I don't know. It's not like I don't like someone dropped a bomb on your house or something. It's not like you got
Yeah.
thrown or
Sorry.
some shit. It's just a Twitter.
Sorry, one of your children has to die now.
What are they doing?
That's the penalty. Look, 12 hours.
That kind of threw me for a loop. All right.
12 hours without Twitter.
Is
I don't know.
It's a big
Yeah,
deal.
it would just be me checking my phone constantly to make sure it's not broken because it's not going off at all hours with some funny.
Yeah, that happened to me
memes.
once too. The 12-hour block. It was bad, and I was on a night shift too, so I was desperate.
It's like getting the
Really
shakes, like Twitter withdrawal, like
Yeah.
oh my god,
Gotta
I'm gonna
go-
totally say something snarky. Oh my god, I can't.
Yeah, you have to go on Facebook. Have to go on Facebook where your mom can see it, and then you're like, I'm embarrassed, Mom. I'm sorry.
Yeah, just
Yeah, and then all of the family members on Facebook are like, "Are you okay? Is everything?
Oh my
okay in your
God.
life?" You're like,
Does
"I'm just
that
trying to
happen?
shitpost, family."
Well, I was gonna say, you know, it's not like it was a very big deal, but I'm being convinced the other direction. Maybe it was pretty serious. Now that
It
I
was
think about
very
it.
serious.
Jesus
was
Christ, you
terrible.
okay? Fuck. But no, but it's like it wasn't. The people were like people weren't complaining that you got a 12-hour ban. That's not the end of the world. It was just complaining about the way it came about. You know, basically.
Yeah. Well, who cares?
Not like
I
it
mean,
was tragic.
I would pay you money right now to shut the fuck up because I don't want to talk about Sargon ever again.
Oh, well, how much?
yeah, exactly.
You know, the super chat option's available.
Damn
Send a super chat in there. Tim, shut the fuck up, and then I'll stop.
Hit that Sargon level, but never
Like,
mention
no,
Sargon again.
I did a video. I did a video on it. It's done. It's over for me.
It's never done.
No,
It will
the
always come
internet
back.
remembers forever.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's
No,
gonna be
no.
somebody every time something happens and you're seen as the bad guy, people are gonna be like, oh yeah, and on top of that, remember that time you upset
Yeah.
Sargon?
Yeah, boo-hoo. All right,
I'm
I
never
did.
seen as the bad guy because I'm such a good boy.
I like your marketing campaign there. It's kind of like the fake news campaign where you just like get out ahead of it. You know you're going to be a bad boy, so you're just like good boy, good boy, good boy. I'm a good boy, good boy, good boy. Everybody, good boy, and they're like, oh, well, I mean, Oscar's
like,
a good.
What's Oskar all about? What's he done before?
Yeah.
He debunks ghosts and spooks mostly. He's awesome. And he also eats bananas occasionally, even though he doesn't really like them that much.
No, I really don't like
He
bananas.
doesn't do the poo rating on his own channel.
No, I have not done the poo rating.
Do not bring up the poo rating.
No, that was on our channel.
Let's rate some poo.
That was our channel that disaster started.
So when it comes to the poo rating, are we rating it by Katie Couric's, like South Park style? How are we rating
there's a
it?
site. There's a site for poo rating.
Yes, it's ratebypoo.com.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing size.
Are you for real? I'm gonna have to look this up.
Color.
It's the internet. Why would you even second guess that, Memory? Like, there's everything is there. You just have to know the correct series of letters and then .com to type.
Oh my god, ratebypoo.com is a real thing.
I told you.
Oh my god.
It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen.
How do I bring this back to the topic?
All right.
I'm so happy right now. Jesus fucking Christ, internet.
Stop. I do not want to rate poo.
It's adorable when adults are still discovering new parts of the internet. I love it.
Screen share, and then you could enjoy this fun with me, Chrissy.
When I was in high school and me and my friends discovered rotten.com in the because we had the computer room, we'd go in there to do like computer stuff, and then my friend was like, "Hey Tim, come over here, check this out." And I walk over and he's just like, there's a picture of a guy who's been run over by a tank and it's like intestines are everywhere, and I'm like, oh my god. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? He's like, this is rotten.com. I'm like, oh my god. And then the next picture's like fucking needles being put under someone's like nails, and it's the goriest fucking shit you've ever seen.
I watched that Zip Popper later.
And I was like a teenager, so like, rate my poo. This is nothing.
I do. I can't stop. I saw it on whose channel was it?
That's really gross, Chrissy.
It is
It's way worse than the poo. It's way worse than the rape.
Way worse.
What was it?
It's even worse
than
than
the name of that guy? Internet
George.
Internet
Two girls, one cup.
Internet Jimmy.
Internet comment etiquette?
Yes, he did that. And I was like horrified, so I had to go see it. And then ever since then, I can't stop. It's terrible.
You're a subscriber. Get out of here. That makes me want to flag you.
Yeah. Please do.
Yeah,
Please
let's do it. Let's go flag.
Okay, I guess a question on a serious level for everyone would be like, are there any grounds at which you guys would report or tweet or flag a video? Like, do you have a standard or something?
Yes.
I wouldn't flag or report. If it's serious, I would call the police.
Oh, whoa!
Because
that is straight from 0 to 10, bro.
Yeah,
like,
because
flagging is like a 3.
Here's a scenario.
It depends on where they are.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd call the police. It sounds kind of weird.
If they're in the same state as me, calling them
like
something, but if they're in a different state or a different country, the police can't do shit.
Let Oskar talk!
I'm shutting up!
Yeah.
Good God, woman!
Okay, say you come across some child porn on YouTube. Are you not gonna call the police? I mean,
right?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. If it's serious, I would call the police. If it's not serious, like someone just talking about me or whatever, then fine, do that. So that's my standard. If it's worthy enough to go to jail for, then yeah, I might call the police.
Well, that's also a weird standard there. I mean, look at Jake Paul. I mean, he burned all that furniture in a pool, and I think you could go to jail for that, but I don't know if it's worth calling the cops for if you just see him doing it on the internet.
But they can take you seriously. Like, oh, someone on Twitter posted a picture of I guess that would be a real threat, like a picture of someone's house and said they're going to go there and kill them. Yeah, I mean, that would be real.
Yeah,
that's
that's-
a threat. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little like if I saw a picture of the front of my house, and somebody's out there with a mask and a knife.
But if it's like a YouTube comment and someone's like, "Oh, I'm gonna come over and club you to death" or some shit.
Nah, I get that all the time.
Yeah, like when the police just be like, "Well, I'm sure it's nothing."
Can I tell a story that's because I've been drinking too much, so that
Yes, that's the best
I won't
kind.
get in trouble. So
Mm.
the
Don't
first
reveal too much,
person
'cause
that I
then Oscar
ever
might report you to the
reported
cops.
was Jenny McDermott for bullying because I felt like she was slandering people.
Chrissy.
Oh
I
god, we
know!
can cut this bit later.
I
Avoid the drama.
Well, I felt like because she was on my own side, I was more responsible. So that if she lied about people, if she said something bad, then because I know I'm going to get it. And I felt like, well, that's just wrong. She said something that was really terrible about somebody that's not true and could get them in trouble, and it wasn't okay. So I just clicked a little bullying button.
So
But-
easy.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Well, that's another question.
You
Then
just
it's like,
crossed. You just no. You just crossed the good boy line, and I'm calling the police right now.
the cops must be so bored of hearing from you. Like, it's this guy again. Like, someone
Yeah.
take this. Like, Jesus.
They should be thankful. I call them hundreds of times every day.
They've got one guy working at the station. His job is to take your call. It's like,
Yeah,
it's him again.
Hello,
Like, I got
Oscar.
this.
Which channel were you watching this time, Oscar?
No, but that's another question. Like libel or slander or there's the difference. What's the difference between like libel is when it's an article or something, and slander is
Well,
when it's
slander
spoken,
about
something like that,
somebody committing a terrible crime, I think, is wrong.
or a lie about you. Yeah, exactly. Like this so and so is a pedophile or something. Like, what do you do about that? You know.
That just seems too much. And I do think
But you
I
get a lot of
do
videos like you're a
hold-
liar, you're dishonest,
yeah,
disingenuous,
everybody's
lying.
dishonest.
Yeah.
Everybody's a liar.
Everybody
but if
does
it's
that.
my side, it really does mean more to me because, and I'm sorry to say it, but I kind of expect it from the other side.
Oh, what the French toast?
Well, don't you? Don't
What,
you
the
kind
French toast? Is that what you just said?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sometimes I like weirdly like edit myself.
Fain,
And
shut the
that's-
front door. You shut
Yeah.
the front door.
That's a very similar line. Yeah, it's weirdly I will just sometimes edit myself, censor myself for no fucking reason, and then say I do it for no fucking reason. Yeah, I know. I don't make any
So
sense.
anyway, how's your sex life?
Hi, Mark.
All right.
Oh,
Somebody
hi.
else like give a true confessions here because I'm gonna get more wine. So
Well, the thing
I'm
is,
gonna get more vodka.
if there's a line,
It's only 1 p.m., but I could have a beer. Is it too early? That's probably still. I don't know.
nah, it's fine.
That's
it's
opening
fine.
a door I
Good.
shouldn't step through.
Open a door. There it is. This is the day that I'll point to.
It's a slippery slope, hey. Like, I don't know where it'll lead.
Next
Look.
thing you know, you're beating your kids in a tank top out in the front yard in front of your trailer.
Yeah,
and
like
you're
in
like,
10
oh,
hours.
that damn stream.
In 10 hours, I'm going to wake up and be like, I don't know what I've done.
What did
Oh
I
my
say?
god. What's all this gore? What happened?
It's still daylight.
Hmm.
But I don't have that they're talking about having that line at libel or at stuff. I don't have that. What I have it as is I guess doxing is a bit, even though you know what, I've seen people dox and I haven't hit the report button. So far I've never hit the report button. I can't say I wouldn't, but you know what? I'm one of those bad people that caused the 911 or 911 system to be put in America. There was a story about in New York City
What?
where this lady got murdered, and apparently afterwards they interviewed. She's in the street, and there are 26 witnesses, and none of them called the cops. Everybody assumed someone else would call the cops. You know, and back then it was like one of those things where you had to spin the little thing and Kansas 1095, please. and then get connected or whatever. That nobody did it, and so that's actually how we got the legislation to create the 911 system, and then certain states created laws where it's actually a crime not to report something if you see it happening.
In some places it's not, like Florida. Florida, it's not illegal to not call the cops.
Yeah, it's fine. But then again, that's why we have all those cool stories in Florida. I mean, I grew up in Florida, and you know what? You know what? Fuck it. We pretty much deserve it. But like, the thing is, like, am I a part? Like the other night, I heard some screaming in my neighborhood. I did not call 911. I don't know what the screaming was. It could have been anything. Could have been kids playing, but I didn't call 911. I don't flag videos, and maybe I'm part of the problem. I assume someone else will do it. I am 100% right, by the way. I've never been wrong on that. So I guess I just stay out of it.
The puppy mill video is still up. The puppy mill video is still up, and as soon as that...
The puppy mill video.
That I'm all about. I love my fucking pups, and
no, it's a puppy mill video about women being in a puppy mill.
Yeah, it's a video about women being used just for breeding purposes, like a puppy mill.
Oh, like humans? Oh, it's fine. I thought we were talking about dogs. Those are adorable.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Is like,
fuck off.
Can you flag?
Sorry, yes.
Isn't there a distinction between like flagging something for being like excessively offensive and something for being like slanderous or
I don't know.
Defamation of some kind? Or, you know, because like if there was a video about, I don't know, you, Fain, like, oh, I've got information. Fain used to beat his ex-girlfriend and he's a woman abuser and he's dangerous. And, if, you know, that would be like defamation or something, you know, if there was no like evidence or like.
I think that's the Swiss flag.
The Swiss flag.
Well,
I mean, do you report that though? Like someone just saying that you are a dodgy person?
Yeah, maybe.
I think it really depends. Like that actually is a really good point, Tim, because Jeff and I had that run-in with Angry MGTOW for a few months, and you know, for the most part, we did not touch his videos. We were like, you can say whatever the fuck you want. Like, we don't want your channel destroyed. Like, we just want you to leave our family alone. Like, stop trying to get people to take my kid away. Like, what the hell's your problem? But then when he actually started, like, trying to dox us, even though he failed at it miserably, which in a laughable manner, when he started actually begging people to dox us, to harass us, to call Child Protective Services and have our kid taken away, we called the police, we filed a police report, we called Child Services, we gave them all our information. And yeah, anytime that it came down to it where it was like, you are legit asking your subscriber base to call Child Services and try to get my son taken away, yeah, I flagged that video.
Yeah.
But that was a serious thing because it wasn't just like, oh, you're saying mean words about me. It's like you are actively asking people to not just harass my family, but potentially break up my family. Right. And so that was definitely like, you crossed the fucking line here, dude. Like, I'm not fucking around anymore. But when it comes to
somebody going to call 911 about the child screaming?
Sorry, that's my neighbor's kids.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, people sit around and don't do anything. They just ignore it.
It's live.
It's happening right now.
God, call someone.
Sorry, I'll mute myself.
Call the MGTOWs.
Oh, that's how we solve it? Just keep beating them. I'll just mute it.
Send the MGTOWs over to save that child.
We could probably eat.
They're playing on the swing on the other side of my fence, and they do that. They just scream and swing and scream.
But that's the thing, like,
fair enough.
You know, because I feel like people in the social justice realm, they would be more likely to report something just for like being offensive. So if it was like a video laden with like the N-word and racism and sexism and
that's a little different. I don't think you should just
like people might report it, you know.
I don't think you should just say offensive because it's a little different. Like if you've been hurt.
Intent.
If you've been hurt by people at the same time that you've heard these words and you know what they mean and you know what they represent, and you're like, oh, screw you. Like, I get that. I totally get that.
Yeah.
And I don't bash that. Like, even if I don't do it, maybe I'm wrong not to do it. Maybe I should do it. I don't know.
Yeah, because
But
I mean, like, you know, some like a cis person might see a video about trans people and not be anywhere near as like off-put by that as a trans person watching that and relating it to their own life, and they might be more like, this is personally against my life and against me, so I might flag it or something, you know. Whereas maybe activists would be more like, I'm going to do this on behalf of other people, you know.
Yes. Yeah, look, it's a really tricky line to walk, and like Pat and I like to we like to make light of some of that sometimes, and put ourselves at risk for getting flagged. We haven't been yet, even though I felt like we've dealt with some serious subjects and some very what's the word? I can't remember the word, but
inappropriate.
Yeah, okay, well, that is a word, and it probably applies. It probably applies, and we'll know what we're doing at the time. And but some of it, let's say the N word. You know what? We had a video that dealt with that head on, and the thing is, part of that whole thing was there's context. And it's not the word itself. The word itself doesn't possess power, but the context in which it's used has a lot of power. And I think that goes with a lot of things. With videos, it can be intent.
Yeah.
I think you could have the same words in two videos, and if one has a harmful intent, the meaning and the interpretation can come out a very different way, and things can.
That's what I'm asking. Like, do you think that you guys would ever report a video where the intent was like obviously extremely malicious, like the way they were using it? Like, hi, I'm a former Grand Wizard of the KKK, and I'm here to tell you about the N words. Blah 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 blah. This video is insanely racist. Like, if you ever picture, I
wouldn't flag it. I would not watch it, and I wouldn't promote it, and I wouldn't flag it. Honestly, because I wouldn't flag it, because like, as much as it's terrible, awful speech, I would probably comment and say, this is terrible and this is why, but I wouldn't flag it, because if you flag things like that, it doesn't stick in that person's mind why what they said or what they're believing in is wrong. It just pushes them back into a corner further, where they're like, obviously I'm right because I'm getting so much pushback. Look at them flag my videos instead of.
But if they're like a rabid racist, I mean, I don't think you'll probably change their mind anyways. Even if like you'll push, like, it probably doesn't matter how much pushback they get.
But letting them spew out their horrible ideas will deter a lot of people from following them.
Right.
Actually, a lot of it's obviously so stupid.
But I think like that's where maybe the divide is between the way people in social justice deal with flagging versus anti or whomever, other people who actually aren't just being hypocrites and saying, I'm using your tactics against you. Like, people aren't doing that. People who actually stick to their ideals of like not flagging, and they don't do it like just out of revenge or something. I think that some of the difference there is that people in social justice are more willing to flag things based on the actual content. Like, if you have a video which is just like a fuckload of racism, like, people in social justice are more likely to flag that than other people who might just be like, oh, leave it out there and then we'll push back and then that'll fix the whole thing, you know?
There's several things. And now,
oh, the brushing. Sorry.
Yeah, you with the brushing and him with the kissing.
Again.
The hell with it.
What?
Oh, doggy.
Grab my face.
Delicious.
What were we talking about? Okay, so another video I flagged, and I've only flagged like 3 videos, so it sounds like I've done all this flagging, and I haven't.
3 videos, I believe, is a campaign, right? That's it's like 1 is isolated, 2 is like, oh boy, but 3 is a flagging campaign. So you've launched a flagging campaign. Tell us about that.
Yeah, that's a war.
Launched a flagging campaign.
I have. One involved a gun. One was all about like this guy with a gun saying he was going to shoot people. So I was like, well, I don't think it was. No, it wasn't vegan games.
Because he's like always has a gun in his videos, and he's always like waving it around whenever he's trying to make a point. You know, like when he talked to Baring, he's like, "Baring, you're so fucking stupid. You're a fucking moron." And I was like, "All right, I don't like Baring, but you don't have to wave a gun around so much."
Don't wave a gun. So this particular guy was all like, you know, SJWs are evil. Guns, 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 guns. And here's what you can do. Shoot, 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 shoot.
Yeah. The guy had the face mask. He was wearing like a face cover.
Yeah.
And it's just him with like these guns.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fucking weird.
Yeah, well, it's America. People, and I don't want to be shot, you know? I really, really, really don't. So... yeah,
But what's the message itself threatening in the sense that he was implying that he was going to come kill people, or was it just the kind of the atmosphere and the tone was threatening, like the atmosphere around it was threatening, but he wasn't like directly threatening or anything? Which one was it? Because I can't actually remember.
I think he was actually pretty directly threatening.
Like, oh, if these fucking feminists want an issue. Yeah, well, we got a fucking issue.
Yeah,
and you're like, maybe you should chill.
Yeah,
you look like you could be a school shooter.
Calm down. Somebody should, like, because, and I'll be honest with you, these people who do mass shootings often post things online before they do it.
But that's Oskar would have a point there. Like, report that to the cops rather than just flag it.
What cops? I don't know who this dude is.
Just like the America cops.
Yeah,
the America cops.
Is this America?
They can just roll in and shoot everyone.
Could you come?
I assume YouTube. I would hope that YouTube has something in place to handle this.
Because that sounds almost like sounds more criminal. Like this guy is potentially a psychotic murderer, so maybe someone's
exactly
tell someone.
Yeah, that is one of the things that I was trying to say earlier. Is when it comes to trying to talk to the police revolving a YouTube video situation, like if it's not in your immediate vicinity, and even then, there's not a whole lot that they can actually do. Like when we were dealing with the Angry MGTOW thing, we had to explain like, okay, like this guy is trying to dox us and this, that, and the other thing. And they were like, yeah, okay. And we're like, they mentioned the potential of swatting, and they were like, whoa, 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 swatting. Like, okay, now you've got our attention, because that's like on top of, you know, everything else is a huge waste of time and money and like stress on everybody is the threat of swatting. But there wasn't really a whole lot that they could do for us because this person was in another area. So being someone who sees something on YouTube and you're like, this person is potentially a danger to themselves or others, like you can reach out to the police, but there's not really a whole lot that they can do unless they have enough reason to do it. So it's kind of like if 1,000 people maybe call like different police departments and are like, this YouTube video looks like this person is a harm to themselves or others, maybe it'll get to the right district where they can do something. But for the most part, it's like, if they're not in my town, how am I supposed to do anything?
Did I fuck up the thing? I keep screwing up. Well, I keep screwing up the. If you click on just one person, it just shows one person's face the entire time that they're talking.
Have you been only showing us?
I've only been showing one person at a time. I always do that when I do Hangouts. Now it's switching back and forth between the different people.
Stop touching it.
Yeah, leave it alone. I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah. Tim.
You are terrible.
Embarrassingly.
In the first part of this Hangout, it's always on one person's face.
It'll only show you that, and then you double click it again and it'll show everyone.
Yes, I fucked it up. I need to learn how to do Hangout. It's your guys' fault. You guys asked
with your face with that blue hat.
If it was up to me, I would just be like in the background moping, but I had to become the center of this shit. It's just such fucking
damn it, Tim.
And like people saying I look like I'm about to go snowboarding. Cold in New Zealand. It's cold here, and also fucking look at Fain. Look at that ridiculous get up. How come I'm getting given shit? Look at this guy.
Because Fain always looks like that, and you don't always look like this.
I shot fire. Look.
Tim, we all know that you just didn't brush your hair. Like you never do.
That's okay.
Look at you. Look. What the hell is that? Oh
Gotta be careful with that not brushing your hair. You might end up looking like me and Jeff.
Anyways, now everything looks professional. I wasn't like even paying any attention to anything you guys were just saying, but that's just the normal course of events with me, anyways. So what was going on?
All right,
are you having your breakdown, Tim?
Yeah, this is the break. Like feminazi cut gets wrecked. Yeah, change the title of this video.
Yeah, let's get some clicks.
Yeah.
All right, look, that scenario. Okay, I feel like there's not much we could do with the cops. The United States Cop Force, or whatever we call it here. I'm not sure it works that way.
The America Police. That's what we call them over here.
Policia Americana.
But all right. So you said in your flagging campaign, Chrissy. The infamous Chrisiousity flagging campaign.
We've only just heard about.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So we do that, and I think you talked about another scenario. What was the third scenario that triggered you to feel like you needed to?
The third scenario was.
Was it rating poo?
No, it was there was a black woman, and all it was a video of her talking and the gorilla sounds for like 20 minutes. And I was like, this crosses a line with me because, and there have been scientific studies about this, that people continue to like associate things with race. And I just find that, like, what are you going to tell a person who does that? You're not going to say, let me explain to you in rational ways what's going on. Like, no, just take it down. Just freaking take it down.
I had a similar thing with an image and some words in a tweet made by a popular YouTuber that was obviously race baiting. And he just wanted someone to come in and say, that's racist, so that he could jump all over them and say, you're calling me a racist. And that's not what I said. And so I took the bait, but not in that way. I just said, man, you're trying to get a response out of people. It's kind of douchey. And so he called me white trash and blocked me and made fun of my subscriber count. It really, that third part really hurt. That really hurt.
Made fun of your subscriber count. You okay?
Yes. Damn you, Devin Tracy.
Doxed.
I'm proud. Like, I have 3,000 subscribers now. It will probably go down, but like, I'm really proud about that because I don't do anything. All I do is talk. I'm not useful. I'm not artistic. I'm not anything. I just sit there and go, oh, well. The fact that there are 3,000 people willing to listen to my bullshit is incredible to me. Incredible.
I have 8,000 and none of them are watching.
Well,
I still don't really know what
I'm
Oscar
watching.
does.
Bullshit. I watch every single video you put out, Oscar.
I have to look
And
them
they
up.
come in
love
my
you for
subscription
it.
box.
I
love you for it.
inspired one of your videos.
But I was going to ask, like, so what
you did.
is you did a flagging campaign on someone. Like, what does that mean when you do a flagging campaign? Like, what's that?
You were getting beer. She just said that she's flagged 3 videos in total, and I felt like, well, I mean, 1 is like a single flag, and then 2, that's just a couple, but 3, that's a campaign
of the same person, basically.
No, it was a
just against the whole internet.
People.
So you were trying to shut down everybody's free speech on the internet.
Yes.
Basically.
We're doing it very slowly, just like one video at a time.
3 in like a year and a half.
I'll do the fourth one
pretty
eventually.
Yeah, I've got something penciled in for around Halloween, and whoever that is really going to get it.
Like this will really show the internet. But I think
Well,
like
I do think that there are some occasions that would warrant it. I think that there are occasions like anything involving children. Fuck you.
Yeah, but the
Oh,
gorilla
yeah,
example
Daddy
you
of
just brought up,
Five.
that's a good thing to just kind of flag,
That is
I
good.
guess.
Daddy of Five. I mean, they must have got a lot of flags because there was that whole firestorm around that channel. And I watched like Sean had linked to a compilation video of like all the worst moments of Daddy of Five. And I watched that whole video and I was just like, I felt like fucking crying. I was like, this is so traumatizing. Jesus Christ. Like the way they're treating their children and then putting it on YouTube just to like make money. Yeah.
Yeah,
So I
it's
don't
so
know, man.
smart.
Flagging
It's so
that
smart.
shit.
I wish I had kids. Oh,
Exploitation.
well, which side are we on? They're bad. They're bad. I totally agree.
Basically.
But that's
And I was
exploitation though,
going
right? I mean,
to
exploitation
flag
of
this
children.
Poisoning the well video. I don't know if you've seen it. It's the
Latest
most
one?
recent one. It was pretty bad. We should all flag it.
We should talk about that. We talk about
No.
poisoning the wells, unless it's too
Please
controversial.
don't. It had some bads. It had a bad in it. We made a bad.
Is it too
But we're
controversial to
so-
talk about this subject, like the poisoning the well video?
Yeah, it's horrible.
I don't mind talking about it.
No.
Because,
I love how
um,
you guys
I
have
thought it was
become
good. I thought it was
like
good.
predictive of the future now.
Who?
With your video.
Yes. We make a video about Riley Dennis being in the military, and 2 days later, Trump bans him off from the military. He's like,
Well,
that's
you
it.
know why that is. You know why that is, my dearest friend Fain. It's
Did you-
because
They
you're
inspired it.
It's because you're dealing with real issues that affect real people.
Well, can I provide some context though? So, like, Fain and Pat made a video, which is like,
no, I should stop. I should stop because
not so good. We should talk about
it's
it. Like,
very rude.
It's called like
It's very rude.
the secret transition story of Riley Dennis, and it's about how I don't want to do too many spoilers or whatever, but like Riley Dennis was in the war, and so the military decides to like transition Riley Dennis from male to female or whatever, and it's kind of like a comedic thing. Reminded me a little bit of Hot Shots at times because there's, you know, it's kind of like military satire comedy kind of thing. But for me, it was like really on the line because the part of it that I really liked was that you were kind of like making fun of the fact that everyone's so nosy and like everyone is just speculating wildly about somebody else's private life. So that part of it was funny. But then there was like some jokes about like Riley's body that was kind of like made me feel awkward. So I was like,
Yes.
I think let's move on.
Actually,
why is that
I've
such a
gotta say,
dangerous subject? I don't know why
I've
it's such a
got to
dangerous
agree
subject.
with Oscar. I brought it up, and it was my bad. But
So let's just rate some proof.
Pat, who's fat, Fat Pat, the Patty
Yes.
Patty,
Fat,
the
fat,
Patty
fat,
Patty, is not
I don't
here.
know.
to defend
The
himself,
rapey
so-
bit wasn't. I didn't think the rapey bit was that bad, to be honest, because it did.
Oh,
because
God. We're not going there, Tim. You're being
Because
that
Let's
high
not-
now.
Sorry.
can't I talk about the
It's
real
not
issues on
my
my own?
fault.
frickin'
Can we
channel?
kick Tim? Let's kick Tim. Let's flag
I'm just gonna
Tim.
kick all of you and fucking stream Tekken.
I will say
Dude, I am
that
so down for some Tekken.
Yeah, Tekken 7. Yeah, it's a good game. I actually played.
Seven, no.
Me
The-
and
the
Chris
first one.
Raygun had a private Tekken session. It was quite romantic. And
You and Chris Raygun?
yeah, it was really random. We just played Tekken. I was like, "Do you want to stream this?" And he was like, "Nah, let's just keep it private." So we played Tekken together, and
Just
then
us,
it was
bros.
really bad lag, and he won. But the only reason he won because it was the lag.
Oh
That's
yeah,
fair.
of course.
It was nothing to do with the skills.
No.
Anyways, I thought that the rape scene.
No.
no, stop, because Fat Pat isn't here. Honestly, if he was here,
He's not here, and you know what? And yeah, he would want to chime in on it. And I know that we do some things that are across the line sometimes, and this one was a little across the line both ways. We felt, but I'm sure depending on what side you are, you felt like it was too far towards you. And also, yeah, we're fucking shitbags sometimes. We don't mean it. We don't mean to be shitbags. We're who we are, and our videos are a reflection of ourselves.
And we all rate you.
No, don't.
Why can I
Because
not?
if he was here, I would say okay. If he was here, I totally would say get him. But he's not. So
I would say get him. We'll talk. We'll have that talk another time, Tim. Maybe we'll have you. We could have you on our channel to chat about that. I mean, I do want to hear other opinions, and I did feel like I got Chrissy's opinion in private, and she made some good points. All right,
man, you guys knew how sweaty I am. You would call me.
They don't like talking about the real issues out in the open. Like everything has to be like we'll put it under the rug. Ignore that. That doesn't exist.
it's because of your fucking hat. It's that blue hat. It's driving me crazy. Take your hat off.
Yeah, how close?
The hat is the rug.
How close is the room that you stream in? This famous room with that has closets that you call like cabinets, I believe, in your videos.
Are they cabinets?
Whatever those doors are behind you, and you usually get triggered when that one over your shoulders open, and it is open, by the way.
Well, all of the people who watch my videos always complain when I leave it open.
Yeah, why don't you close the closet doors? But how close is this to your garage? How close is this room to your garage?
Quite far.
Quite far. All right. I'm just curious as to why you're all dressed up. I was like, I know there's a hole in your garage wall. I know too much about your house, by the way.
I was like, yeah, you can probably figure out the layout of my house just by watching my videos, and then.
Yeah, look, I feel like I have been around it a little bit. There's just a couple things I need to square off so I can make the diagram for the invasion.
Oh God.
So that no, I don't want anybody to get hurt. So we know the layout of the house. I know that there's good soil out there. I'm very, very jealous of your soil. Which I love that video, by the way. I have the whole thing memorized.
Well, could you just do a quick zoom around the room you're in so we can see?
Did you get the layout of this professional studio?
Yeah, I want to see it.
Let's
show it.
Do it.
Oh, this should be funny. Hold on. My camera is on a stand here. Hold on. Let me click it so I can see what we're looking at here and see if the camera will adjust. And so you can see here that there's background lights. There's another one below that one that you can't see. And then this is a big light. Over there.
Oh God, that was weirdly sexual.
Thank you. I was poking it real hard. Oh, you can't see that. Let me see if I can turn the light so I can show you this fancy bit. This fancy bit that all professional studios have. Over here is a dog kennel. That's for the dogs. And over there you can see that's a shovel. That's a shovel. Oh yes, there's an Easter basket. I hope you can all see that. There's a picture of Oskar.
Oh, nice.
What? Why do you have pictures of Oskar?
These are all things. Yeah, we did a video with him, and so these are all things that are in our videos. We hang them on the wall if we can.
Was that the butthole video?
No, that was the witchcraft.
The butthole video.
Yeah.
Yes.
Look, we've done a lot of tough shit.
Everything with Oskar is always poo or butthole. Something
that
to
one
do
was
with
witchcraft.
Yeah.
That one was witchcraft, and then
Oh yeah, put the light again.
Which
Looks
involved farting.
Hey, look, and this is my unfinished basement. That's a bathroom there where the toilet's not even mounted. It just sits over the hole. And there's a kitchen back there for booze. Very professional. And then, I twisted it. Damn it.
They never mow the lawn, ever. It's all crabgrass. It's terrible.
What?
Have they shown the lawn?
Your
My
lawn
lawn is Tifway. My lawn is Tifway 419. It's Bermuda, and I cut it twice a freaking week. No, it's all crap. That is, oh!
That's so serious.
Your back lawn. Your back
Oh,
lawn.
the back line. Yeah, that was terrible. And since then, I've actually cleaned that. It was terrible back there.
I was
That's
like,
when we filmed the homeless.
on?
When we filmed the homeless video. back there, and so everybody can see how terrible my backyard is right now. Or it was. It's fixed now. It's fixed. It's fixed. It doesn't look like a jungle that homeless people run around in.
Fixed or it didn't happen.
It's dark here now. It's dark. And also, I need to cut it, and then I'll send pictures.
All right. When I see it, I'll believe it.
Very nice. It's very nice.
But I need to see like Pat eating off of the land.
Yeah, he was sick for like 2 hours after that. By the way, he was just eating berries and foraging through poisonous stuff. I did love that he was running around doing that bit, and he picks up this thing, and he's like, he said, some of the berries are brown, or the brown ones taste like shit, and some of the berries taste like shit. And it's because he had picked up a tiny dog turd. I have tiny dogs.
Oh my god!
That's great.
Stop just picking up anything off the floor, you heathen. Oh, just grazing off the forest floor. It's a super techie thing we do here. We have so many important messages.
You suffer for your art, so that's good.
I can't wait to send Jeff out to go hang out with you hooligans.
Oh man, it's going to be so much fun. I'm so excited to have Jeff out here. Jeff is just great. He's just great.
He needs a guy time out of town anyway. So
well, cool. I got him there's fresh sheets on my bed, so we'll have that to sleep in together. I mean, on the guest room bed. The guest room.
I don't care. He can cuddle with whoever he wants to. Whatever.
Cuddle.
Somebody here says, Demo, do something or everybody's going to leave. You're going to leave.
Leave. Fuck off.
Yeah, because I'm bored. Let's go.
I'm talking to people here.
I was forced to make this hangout. It's not my fucking fault. Don't blame me.
Oh, poor Tim.
I mean that in a very incredibly nice way.
Tim is merely a moderate priority. I think that everybody should know that.
Yeah,
Medium.
Yeah, but you know, like
pretty hilarious.
The poll list, which had like people at the top, and then me and Sean and Jen were in the middle, and then at the bottom was like Christy Winters and other people that had low priority flaggers.
Girls.
Flag things.
The girls.
That could. I didn't think about that. Yeah, it could be because you're female. You're low priority. But
all women. And all of the women plus Mike Rowlands.
Plus Mike Rowlands. Well, yeah.
But people can't figure out where to put him.
I felt like the ranking was based on like levels of being communist or anarchist, you know, and because I'm a bit of a lib, I was lower down, you know, and I don't know why Sean and Jen's lower down because like anti-whatevers, they hate him a lot. So I don't know why Sean and Jen's in the middle. Like he's like one of the big enemies.
ContraPoints even get on. That's insane.
ContraPoints wasn't on there. Yeah, maybe it's because Contra said that she's starting transitioning, so now she's cool.
What? Is that true?
Yeah, it's recently. It's like an announcement or whatever. But yeah, if you're actually transitioning, then you become a real human being. So you're not on the list.
All right, so tell me this. Look, you guys are sophisticated people, and I'm just a Georgia redneck, and sometimes I have some questions about this, and it's something that came up the other day when having an argument with my right-wing partner about the transgender thing.
Your right-wing partner?
Yes, Pat is a conservative, and I'm a liberal.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
I used to like that guy.
That's why he eats dog turds in the backyard. It doesn't even make sense.
I'm
very disappointed.
But we were talking a little bit about this, and also since about Riley Dennis and the fact that how come the transitioning what is the difference between a transgender person who hasn't started taking hormone or done any surgery and a cross-dresser? What is the difference?
Oh, it's so simple. I don't know. Chrissy, do you want to take this or should I take it?
Yeah. Well, I'm going to take the fact that I saw you, Jeff, You were all like dancing around. I see you now.
Yeah,
I
a
see
friend
you.
of mine,
That's a
Mike,
topic.
came into town for the weekend.
Dan remembers
So
Mike.
They wanted to dance around and say hello.
Yeah.
Hi.
I was gonna say hi.
Hi, Jeff.
So Fain, you remember this guy, right?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Asian sensation. Come on now.
I love
No,
it.
okay. A
Here's
trans.
what I would say. Here's what I would say.
Do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
shut up, Tim.
Do it live.
And keeping in mind that I am cis, I've always been a woman. I'm always gonna be a woman. And I'm drunk. But this is what I have to say. And it's that until recently, we had a very religious sort of idea about men and women and what our roles were and where we all fit. And I don't think that we have quite the language yet. I don't think that we have quite the understanding yet. And I think that this is still a dialogue that's going on. And I think it's a dialogue that's going on in people's minds and in people's identities, as well as people's realities, and as well as other people who are like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're a woman? What do you mean that you don't know? What do you mean that you're non-binary? What does that even refer to? Like, I refer to, because I'm bisexual, right? I don't care about people's genitalia as far as when it comes to being attracted to them, or
As far as
being,
putting them in my mouth. Yeah, I get it.
basically. It's all good. Like, it's all fun to play with, but it's not what matters to me as a person, right? So, but for a long time, you were either gay or straight, and there was nothing in between.
Right.
And I would go to the gay clubs, and people would be like, fuck you. As
You're a
much
fruit fly.
as straight, yeah. As much as straight people. So, like, this idea that you could have a sort of medium, an in-betweener kind of thing, or be not quite one thing or the other, or be not sure, or be still figuring shit out. All of that stuff was just not understood or accepted or believed in. And it's still not believed in to a degree.
Yeah,
And
but
I
I mean,
Can I answer the question?
yeah.
Sorry. Well, it's just okay. Sorry, I'm mansplaining.
You think there's a short answer?
Well, there is. Like, basically, if you are a crossdresser or transvestite is another phrase people use.
Transvestite. That's the proper phrase. Sorry, I've been drinking too, you bastards.
If you're a man and you wear women's clothing, you still are a man. Like, you're like, I identify as a male. I'm a dude. I just like women's clothing. So I'm a man wearing women's clothing. If you are transgender, you wouldn't be like, I'm a man. You'd be like, I'm a woman wearing women's clothing. You know? And that's the distinction. Okay. Like, a trans person is somebody who identifies more with in this case, I'll say the other, because it's like the two main genders, like two main ideas of gender, male and female. Like, you identify as a woman, you know. But if you're just like a cross-dresser or whatever, you just like women's clothes.
Contra started out as a cross-dresser. Right.
So he just liked women's clothes originally.
Non-binary, and now she is like, you know what? I'm not non-binary. I'm a woman. I want to be a woman. I don't want. That's how I feel.
That's kind of like a journey of self-discovery. Then, like, I mean, I don't know.
Exactly. That's exactly what it's about. It's about knowing who you are and knowing how you feel and why you're having.
But I think it takes
complications.
It does take time to like figure out who you are or what you feel comfortable being, and like maybe Contra is going through some kind of journey where he originally and now she was like figuring out who they are, you know, and like that takes a while. It's like originally it's just like I just like women's clothing, and then like it kind of like went from there. But that doesn't mean it's like a slippery slope for like anybody who wears women's clothing. You know,
and to put it in words that Fain can sort of grasp, it's like when I put on sunglasses, I wear sunglasses. But you wear studded sunglasses.
So that's
Like
the
a
next
stud.
level.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And then where's that going to lead? Oh, Lord knows.
Yeah.
But no, it's like it's down to each individual. Like, you know, just because that was the progression for Contra doesn't mean that would be the same for everybody else. Like some person.
No, and I don't
their
think
whole
it
life
should have to be.
Yeah, like there's no rule about this. You know, like conservatives often get scared that if their children cross-dress, they're going to turn into like women or whatever. But that doesn't apply. Like everybody, like every individual's different. Like it's different. We've all got different journeys and experiences going through life. You know. So, anyways, if my kid was like, I want to be a woman or whatever, my answer would probably be, we'll give it a little bit of time. Like, see how you know. No, it would be like, you know, all right, we'll get the hang. Like, I totally respect that. It's fine. And we'll, you know, spend a little bit of time just to acclimatize to this idea, see if you stay in that way, and if you do, then that's fine. No problem.
No.
So what do you guys think about this one?
We're like having an actual
Yes.
like nuanced discussion.
Is this a 10 or a...
I mean, it's kind of torn apart and everything. I feel like a 10 maintains its
Give it a
structure.
7.
Like a,
Is Oscar just disgusted by nuanced conversation?
he's
He's like, this is just so repulsive. I'm gonna break some poo.
Yeah, he's like, look at my
This is
pen.
sickening.
All right, guys, I'm gonna have to bounce because I have a house guest and I don't want to be rude. But I heart you guys, and we should hang out more often.
Can I say
Yes.
something to Jeff?
Let Jeff drown.
Can I say something to Jeff right
Jeff, you want
now?
to swim?
Yeah, Jeff.
What?
They want to say something.
Hey, Jeff.
Don't
What is
drown.
it? What is up, my ghetto brethren?
I wanted to say hello.
Hello. How you doing?
Is that
I'm okay. We don't get along.
That's
Have you
okay.
noticed that? I think it's all right.
I might have noticed once or twice. It's okay. We don't always have to get along.
We don't like agree on a lot of things.
I bet we could probably agree on my next video.
That's good.
Is it about
Yep.
the salt right?
No, it's about how Steven Crowder really doesn't understand AIDS or AIDS epidemics.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, I
Steven
hated
Crowder.
that.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
I
something I'm wondering though.
wanted to
Like,
kick him.
Jeff, like he challenged you on Twitter. Are you gonna go on his show?
He canceled.
Oh,
Yeah.
Crowder canceled.
Crowder canceled. Yeah, I was supposed to be on.
course.
I was supposed to be on Wednesday, but then Trump decided to be a total dick and ban trans people from the military.
Right.
And so they didn't have time for me anymore, and I didn't get my slot. So I made a video.
So you
Can
have to
you,
become president and do unhinged tweeting, and then maybe he'll have you on the show.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It's so simple.
It's
Can you
not like
mention,
it's not like my Twitter is the most especially hinged, to be honest with you. So
Yeah.
you know.
can you please mention to Crowder, if you ever speak to him, that he's a bitch? And I
Yeah.
respect him very much. I would appreciate that. if
I'll
you
try.
would do
I'll try
that.
and try and sneak it in.
Okay, sneak it just a little bit.
Cheers,
Um,
All
everybody.
right, Jeff. I'll see you soon, man.
Bye, guys.
See you
Bye.
later.
Bye. I heard you all.
Bye.
See,
No,
the person in the chat was
holidays are
right.
good people.
Now everyone's dropping out.
The holidays are good people, man. I really like that bunch, and
Yeah, they're fantastic.
Actually-
They hate me. They hate.
No, they
well,
don't.
That's
Memory
not true.
doesn't.
no,
Jeff
that's not
hates
true.
me.
Jeff doesn't either. Jeff doesn't either, and I know this. I've talked to him specifically about it.
Yeah, he does.
And Jeff's a far more reasonable guy than I think a lot of his peers may be, in the aspect of he'll listen to the other opinions. He may still disagree, but I believe he does listen to people. And
I want to do that thing where you start slagging off the person the moment they leave the hangout.
Jeff
Oh,
seriously
Jeff. What a
talks about
fucking
me
piece of
like
shit he is.
he sent me a video where I was like Cruella de Vil, only worse. Like I was the worst person in the universe, and that's not a. It was rude.
It's
Like-
fun. Like he's a lot more combative when you get on the other side of an issue with him than Memory is. You know, Memory is a lot more
Oh, sure.
kind of like
Memory's
diplomatic.
awesome.
You know,
I love Memory. Memory, I will.
but she's too good for Jeff.
She's way too good for Jeff. Oh my god.
How was she? What was she thinking?
She's just a little bit too good for Jeff. She is so too good for Jeff.
In
But I
a
don't know.
in a nice way. That's meant as a compliment. Like,
I don't care if it's nice or not. She is so too good for him. That she should
It's all right.
be
I
I'm
think
just
you
train
need to
Jeff
try to
up.
be a good girl.
Yeah. I will take Jeff under my wing and be his mentor on how to be a good person. Because
Good.
I
But you're
am
not a good
obviously,
boy.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
not a good enough boy.
I'm too edgy for Twitter, but I'm still cool in my own
No,
way.
you're not a good enough boy for that. You're like the grasshopper, and I'm the grand good boy.
Mm.
Good boy.
Based on what?
Oscar's a
I
very
made the
good
good
boy.
boy fuss, so I mean I
Oh,
know
because
a
it's
lot
your
about good
brand.
boys.
No, son of a bitch.
Yeah, it's good boy TM.
Mm.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Oh, what was I going to say? Yeah, but so Fain, you and Pat went to VidCon and stuff. I watched your video, on the VidCon thing, and it kind of seemed like you guys were like trying to get into the crews of like the people, like kind of get into the, like, hey, it's Chris Reagan, like let's get in there. And, like,
Yeah,
hey,
we
it's
were.
you, and
We were drunk, and they're all there, and we decided just to flip on the camera and then run around and force our way, even to some of them that we had not talked to.
Yeah.
And to just put them live on the inner tubes.
yeah.
Which I think at one point, I think it was Armored Skeptic looked. It was like, "Are you guys streaming?" And we're like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You fucking assholes." Everybody's sweaty and looking like shit, but it was a lot of fun. I thought it was cool that everybody was hanging out. I'm glad we got to get Lacey in. There weren't a whole lot of others. I actually tried to get Riley Dennis to come over, but she very politely told me no. And very politely, and I forget the YouTuber she was talking to. She was talking to a female to male transitioner that she recently did a video with, a real short little guy. Yeah, they were not interested, mainly because Sargon was there, and it really scares them. Or at least pisses them off. And I get it. But we wanted to have more people. There was a lot of people in that area. And we just thought it was cool. Thought somebody should be showing how like all these people are there. And like for fucking 30 minutes over VidCon, this group of people sort of mattered, and everybody was there kind of talking and got to meet up with watchers. The rest of VidCon had nothing to do with us. Fucking nothing to do with us. It had to do with the real YouTubers, not these fucking E-list YouTubers that we were hanging out with these sub 1 mils.
Yeah, because it's a bit of a bubble, right? Because when you have an audience of like 500,000 people, you can come to believe you're such an incredibly big deal, like you're so influential and you're so important. But then, like, you look at like the other YouTubers, they've got like 6 million people, or whatever.
Yeah,
and then they're on the panels, and they're the people who are like endorsed by like the whole like capitalist side of it all. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also weird because then you've got other people like on panels that had 200,000, like Francesca. Like her channel's what, like 200,000, I think. But she was on MTV, I guess.
Yeah, because it's on MTV, so. It's hard to like because people want to like compare being on MTV to being on YouTube, but I think like MTV is so much more recognized and so much more official that almost by default that is a much bigger deal. Just being on MTV, like no matter how much people flag off the old media. Well, I don't know because like I mean I'm sorry like to bring up Sargon again or whatever, but he was on Joe Rogan's podcast complaining about like Anita Sarkeesian or whatever. And then Joe Rogan eventually is just like, look, I mean, we can't just spend our whole time talking about this like myopic, tiny drama that you think matters to more people than you and your clique. We have to talk about other things because my audience like doesn't give a shit about this, And it's like you feel like your issues are like very important and very elevated because it affects you, But once you get out in the world, it's like, nah, you're just a small fish. Like probably if you go to like if my friend went to VidCon and he was just like, I was just amazed at like how our little corner of YouTube is so small and not
So
actually
small.
that important, you know? Like
No, it's true. Because right after that thing that we live streamed, right after I hit cut like 30 seconds too early. That's when Logan Paul came through that exact place we were just standing with a tidal wave of 14-year-old girls, screaming girls. And I saw the tidal wave break over the wall as he jumped up and he's like running and like he was literally swimming in front of them and they're crashing in this wall of bodies. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever fucking seen. Really were everybody stood there. Everybody stood and turned and watched it just crash and then into the water fountain and just loads of people. And security is like has to grab Logan and like wrestle on the ground. They're trying to protect him by beating him. And
what?
That's what it looked like because they were like they had already told him, you cannot go out there. You're crazy. You're going to cause unsafe.
You're too famous.
Yes.
Stop.
And it's like 1,000 screaming girls. And so we watched that. And then
almost
everybody
9 million subscribers.
Yeah, and everybody sits there and look at each other. Everybody looks at each other. We just had that meeting. We just had that meetup where everybody's like clapping each other on the back and we're so cool and we're doing all these things and people really like us and it's true. And then we saw what real fame looked like and saw a real YouTube celebrity get beat by security in order to save his life.
It's hilarious. Like, oh, you've got about 30 fans. So quaint.
Yeah, like
that's really nice for you. I've got a tidal wave. You should probably run. Like, you should run away now.
Yeah, Now, what was funny is on Jake Paul, or no, it was on Logan's Paul channel the next day. He does a video, a daily vlog, and he drives through the hotel. There's these screaming girls, and somebody took a screenshot of it because right in the middle of the screaming girls is me and Pat. And I'm like, this video, Pat, this where we're in like this one little second, also that little clip ended up being on H3H3 in their video as well. Where we're standing there, we were live streaming at the time, trying to pretend that the girls were screaming for us. Yeah. But we couldn't get the angle to work right because they kept going after Logan. But he was right there beside me. And but anyway, I'm like, that clip right there is as good. That is the most we're ever going to be seen. If you take all of our video views for the rest of our YouTube career and add them together, they will not reach the amount of views that one little snippet of us standing head and shoulders above the teenage girls.
I definitely need to work out. Then I could be like that guy. Because he looks kind of muscly.
Dearest Fain. I just noticed your T-shirt. What is that?
Is it problematic?
It's super problematic.
I don't see the problem. It's a man and a woman, and the woman is yelling at the man, and it says problem. And then the man kicks her out of the cartoon, and it says solved.
Doesn't that seem
okay. Okay, Christian, let me break this T-shirt down for you.
No.
Let me break this down for you. It's not problematic. Show your shirt again. Can you see that the girl has like a mutant alien sperm above her head trying to control her mind?
He's protecting her, right?
She's in trouble.
Yes, she's in trouble.
He's like, look out!
So he kicked her to like crush the mutant alien sperm across the wall.
Okay.
He's a hero. He should be
Look,
celebrated.
it's not a message about silencing women. It's a message about I can't be in relationships.
Wait, so did you see that in the store and you picked it out?
But
yeah, I picked it up.
What was going through your mind, like when you saw that? Like,
this
when
is
you
not
were
nearly the worst T-shirt I have. Not nearly. I didn't even think about it when I put it on that it might be.
No, but like when you bought it, what were you thinking? You're thinking like that would be good to buy because fill in the blank.
I was actually married at the time.
Because I hate my wife. Is that why?
I said at the time, and yeah, well, I didn't hate her. I didn't hate her.
But like, hey,
She
I
yelled
bought
at me all the
What do
time.
you think? Like, are you trying to tell me something?
No, I didn't ask her what she thought. I just wore it.
I feel like
that's
kind of
And
Jason.
the relationship broke up. That's amazing.
That's a shock.
It is. Look, you want me to tell you what my worst T-shirt is?
All right, go for it.
All right. Since you're drunk and you promise not to hate me, my worst T-shirt says, "Damn it, I eat more pussy than cervical cancer."
Oh, wow. That's not good.
Nothing.
See, I think that
It made my skin run cold just saying it out loud in front of Chrisiousity.
some of us would flag that T-shirt. I think I would probably report that T-shirt.
Can I say something terrible? And my husband is right next to me.
I already said something terrible. I'm at least owed that.
My husband is right next to me. A lot of times when I'm in an argument, say a Twitter argument, with a person who's giving me all kinds of crap about feminism and whatnot, I will say to myself, I've eaten more pussy than you. And to greater...
Is this this is Chrisiousicity's red pill moment? Oh my god!
Success.
Next, you're gonna have to kick us down in your profile pic or something.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. I love it.
My dearest Steve will probably be like, "What the hell? What did you just do?"
You're blocked.
You're blocked.
I'm probably. He likes your videos, by the way. But
who?
My husband, Steve.
Oh,
who's like not looking.
I thought you were talking about Steve Shives. I just completely missed that.
Steve Shives.
Oh, yeah, me too.
When you said Steve, there's only one Steve in the world.
Yeah,
other than the one that I'm married to, who is a lovely man.
Well, he doesn't have a YouTube channel, so
he's walking away from me. This is not good. He is. He just walked away. Oh dear. But anyway,
now you got to go explain your mantra.
That is, in fact, something that goes through my head frequently.
Well, you know what? We all have our mantras that fucking help us keep our shit together and keep us from losing our cool. So I get it. That's actually a really cool one, and I like it. And yeah, look, actually, I like anything that's kind of uncomfortable and offensive, and it's a problem I've got. It's like picking off fucking scabs and not letting them heal. I get this weird satisfaction when my shirt hurts a little, buddy, when I'm walking through the fucking food court at the mall and I see someone have a visceral reaction to looking at me, like like they're oh god, that went right in my eyes and I can't unsee it. I get a little thing from that, and I don't fucking know why. I'm sure there's some psychological damage that has been happening to me in the past that I probably need to hash out with a therapist, but
my question about that would be like, do you think that comedy, because some people don't, like, has a message? Like, is it saying something, or is it just funny? Is it just a funny thing, or is it like you are actually putting out a message? Because I think like comedy, to me, the best comedy is message based, like something that is saying something, you know?
Yeah, look, I think comedy can be just dumb and mindless and just be as, you know, and you could tell it when you see it. But I will say that I mean, we've done some videos that we didn't really intend to have a message, but sometimes even when you're not trying to message, you sit there and finish it and go, did we say that? Is that the message we were trying to get across? We've literally had that conversation like, holy shit, we just both put our hands on the Ouija board and it spelled out a word we were both thinking in our subconscious, but we never spoke it out loud. We've had that actually happen. We're like, no, we don't need to have a message here. Who are we trying to talk to with our jokes?
But a message can be created later when the audience consumes that thing. Like, so if you do
that's why I removed my social commentary stuff. But quickly, just to go back to what Fain was saying about the thing you get from having those shirts. There are other ways. So I am going to send you this.
What the hell is that thing?
Oh, like you don't know.
Doing on my channel?
Like you don't know.
Is that like? I don't.
It's above your mantelpiece. I've seen it.
It's a what?
It's like that brick. You know that brick that you like keep things up on because you're so, I don't know, professional?
Oh, my piece of rubble. It's famous.
Your famous brick.
My famous rubble.
Yeah. Everybody loves them.
No, they don't.
That's not true, and I don't understand why, because I've always really liked Tim.
The other day, commenter was
awesome.
Look, it's Tim. You're such a homo. Like, oh, it'd be a shame if you got fucked by someone. And I'm like, this is interesting. How did you go from like seeing me to like I'm gonna make a comment about throat fucking? Like,
it's because you're so mild. People don't know how to react to you.
Yeah, you know how I found Tim? I found Tim in a very, very unusual way. I actually found his platypus videos, and then AIU made a video where he was like, coming out and saying, "We know it's you, Tim. It's you, Tim," and he kept like using your name and like just like calling your name and like, why are you hiding behind this? And you're like, yeah, like and he's in the comments and shit. We know it's you, Tim, and and remember when the flying monkeys were a thing that mattered?
Yeah.
Hilarious. So they're all leaving comments, and I'm like, well, really? Because this video is super fucking hilarious, and you guys are fucking missing the point that he's clowning on you because all you do is say alpha and beta and regressive and he's making fun of you, and you're sitting there doxing him. And I'm like, so then I went and I subscribed to Tim's channel because I was told by the flying monkeys who he was, just ironically.
Yeah, but like I put in the linked channels of Platypus my main channel, and then they started like boasting. They were like, "Oh, if you don't want someone to find out who you are, don't put a link to your main channel on your other channel." And I was like, well, maybe I consciously did that, like, because I wasn't trying to hide. I was just like, this is a character that I screwed up. I was like, this is a character I'm doing. It wasn't a screw up. It was just like, literally, like, I don't care if you find out who I am. That's why I'm putting the link here.
Just blew
Don't try to retcon history, Tim.
I guess, but they were like, we got you. And I was like, well, if I wanted to be private, I wouldn't put my real name on my Twitter, would I?
Tim, even here with his chocobo haircut thing that's going on. Oh, you should see yourself right now, Tim, darling.
I remember how the chocobo song goes.
You'll remember soon. Is that the one by Slayer? Anyway, you are still one of my favorite people in the entire world.
Thank you, but it's not true that people like me. Like,
look at that thing.
Sargon doesn't like me. He thinks I'm
up off of his head.
Mendacious. And Uzalu, every time I talk to him, he just calls me a liar. He thinks I'm a liar. He's like, you're a liar, you're dishonest, you lie.
Sargon is the worst person in the
Various Twitterers hate me. Who else hates me? Jim Dermott hates me. Bewildered 8 is basically following me around, leaving like passive-aggressive comments right now. So I don't think he likes me.
He really is. Me and you.
So he's not a fan of me.
What the hell? What the hell are you doing?
Is Sophie having a crap?
Huh?
What?
Who?
Were you having a crap, Sophie?
No, I'm reading the chat and.
Oh, Charming Man 93. He does not like me because I am a member of the opposing force of the culture war.
If you ever want to see the funniest thing that you've ever seen in your life. Charming Man 93 was mirrored by Bearing, right? And he was mirrored on a video about one of these little girl bedroom feminists. And she took her video down. So all the people who were going to go to her video went to his. And it started insulting him so
what? That's
bad.
amazing. That's so good.
And now the video is labeled, "I'm the man, I'm not the girl." Bearing fans. That's like the title of the video.
Like, hey, look at
And
this
if you
fucking
read
twin.
through it, it's the most insane thing you've ever read in your life.
You're such a beta cuck.
So
you can't get laid, twink
It's not
virgin.
even
Like,
beta
and then
cuck.
typing back like, "I'm the anti-feminist here." Like, you've got the wrong person. You've got to go attack this woman.
Yeah,
Screwing it up.
exactly. That's part of it. But it's all like, you know, "Hey, girl, I'm gonna fuck you in the pussy." And he's like, "I'm a man, you know. I'm the one in the red jacket. I'm not the girl."
That's hilarious.
It's horrible.
You're harassing the wrong person.
It's
Sorry.
And there are so many, like, I don't know, just random things that you couldn't pay people to do this. Like, you wouldn't believe it if it was fiction. Kind of things. Like, there's one guy who's like,
to me, the hate is quite funny because, like, I wasn't checking the comments, and then Sargon responded to one of my latest videos, and then I checked the comments section. It's just all these downvotes, and it's just like a sea of people insulting me in these weird ways. And I'm like, I didn't even check my video for like 2 days, and all of these people have been insulting me while I've been going about my business, and I don't even know about it. Just like going to the store, you know, petting my cat, playing a computer game, like, you know, drinking some beer, oh, check my comments. Ha! Lots of people seem to hate me. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
While you were just living your life.
Yeah,
like
just going about my business.
Like the internet didn't even matter, dude. I don't even understand how you got out of bed.
All right. Like,
I'm gonna start hating you in weird ways, Tim. I think I would do a good job. I think I would do a better job. Yeah.
Oh.
Tim.
Can't I just ignore it, please?
No. Tim, I wouldn't even eat your skin.
Oh, that's good. Why not? Is there something wrong with my skin? Are you saying I have bad skin?
there's
it's lovely.
not
It's
enough
lovely.
melanin.
That's mean.
That's rude.
Nah.
Yeah.
Nah, it's true. It's true. Okay. All right. There's nowhere to go from there. See? It's just a truth bomb went off in the room, and now everybody's in mourning.
That's true.
Yeah.
Damn it, Oscar. What the hell?
The grief. The grief.
Yeah, I know. I'm so sweaty though.
You're sweaty?
Yeah, I'm totally.
I clicked on me again. Now it's just showing me the whole time.
All right, I'm a little confused about your beard, though,
See
Oscar.
this thing.
Oh, what's confusing about it?
Well,
Why?
it's just a little. I mean, it's
He's like Scandinavian or something.
I've got an
not
idea
even
for a topic.
Scandinavian. Okay, go ahead.
Postmodernism.
Oh,
Oh
God.
shit!
What do you guys think of it?
I think that the armored skeptic wouldn't know postmodernism if it was licking his balls.
Postmodernism?
Postmodernism. I'm a skeptic and the
You can't even
postmodernism.
Chrissy can't even say the word postmodernism. I mean, you've got a way to go too. He wouldn't know postmodernism. Oh my God.
Shut up. No, seriously. What was that? What was that?
What is
Tim?
postmodernism?
Well, I
it's
think
a
he
lot
was
of
trying to give a very simplistic version of it. I'm trying to defend the man.
Why?
Because I like him.
Oh,
He's a nice guy.
Because it's just a big clique, and you hung out together, and now you want to be best friends because you're trying to make that fucking super chat money.
Super chat money, bitch. Oh, this ain't my channel. Save your wallet.
Scumbags.
But Sofa and Cat. Sofa and Cat. No, they do get crazy super chat money though.
Yeah.
But I like, to me, that I thought of a parody video that I haven't made, but I was considering it, where I'm like, what is quantum mechanics? I'm going to explain to you, the viewer, what quantum mechanics is, even though I literally know nothing about the subject.
It's like it, but it happened afterwards.
What are quantum mechanics? They're mechanics,
let me tell you,
and they are quantum. Are
it's
they
all
good?
bad.
Or are they bad? That's
the feminists
subjective.
are coming for you. They will eat your ice cream. They will take all your ice cream and eat it. And that's what quantum mechanics is.
I thought of
aren't those mechanics that only
first,
work
but
on?
decided against it.
They're mechanics that only work on that one, the quantum car. Is that a
true.
car?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Nobody
All
knows.
the cars
Say, like,
here
yeah.
have different names there.
Originally, they had mechanics, and that was pretty cool, but it wasn't quite enough. So they wanted to really jazz it up a bit, and so they made it quantum.
Well, I know Quantum Leap. I enjoy Quantum Leap.
I love me some Quantum Leap.
But I just
That's
thought
hot.
I just thought that would be
so
a fantastic parody video. Like, hi, I'm a person who's pretending to be smart about something I know nothing about, and now let me make up a whole bunch of stuff and pretend like I've just educated you on this topic.
Well,
Isn't that
now
all
you
of
have
your
to make up
videos?
another yeah. like, so you're gonna follow the usual formula. Got it.
No, but I mean, I saw a vid, like Dr. Lehman made a video about postmodernism, and like, I don't really know about Dr. Lehman's politics or whatever. We probably disagree a bunch. I think he's like an anti-social justice warrior type guy, but he included a ton of sources, and he talked about what people actually think postmodernism is. He wasn't just like, I'm just going to talk about some shit in the back of my head, like that I've just. Like, I'm just going to speak off the cuff about what this amazingly complicated subject is. He was like, no, this is what theorists and people who actually know about this subject think about it. This is some quotes about it. Here's a good definition of what it is. And I was like, that's so easy to do. Like, why didn't Ahmed Skeptic do that? Instead of just like, hi, I'm Ahmed Skeptic. I'm just going to like talk.
All right. Two things. One, because he wants to swing right. Two, because what was the number one?
You're too drunk.
what was the first one I said? So I can remember where I was.
Wait, was I doing 1 or 2? I can't remember.
2, because you're a bad influence on me, and
and
we were drinking at 1 o'clock. Did you know that? 1 o'clock, and he was just all beer with the New Zealand. And oh wait, no, I remember what I was talking about. So I was on a stream today with Professor Philip Moriarty and Professor Christy Winters and ContraPoints, all of whom are way smarter than me. And this sort of subject came up. So if people actually want to know anything about
what are they like? Professors in being regressive?
Yes.
My doctorate in regressivism.
Philip Moriarty, who I love.
Yeah.
He is like on my top 3 people who have ever been on YouTube ever.
Social science is not a real science. So I bet you could run circles around them just by reading a Google page.
He's physics, so he's not exactly social science, and
feminist
he hates
physics.
postmodernism, but he still knows what the hell it means.
Well, but it's like I've been through the university and learnt about postmodernism, but to be honest, I didn't pay much attention to it. So I will say, like, this conversation about postmodernism, it did make me recently like read about it a lot, and so that's actually quite useful. Like, even though Ahmed Skeptic's video was so inept, it has made me personally be like, I want to read more about postmodernism. So I've been reading a whole bunch about it over the past few days just because of Ahmed Skeptic bringing it up in his own inept way, you know. So they're like because Dr. Lehman said, like, finally, like, he's got his German accent, like, you know, finally the postmodernism, that's not what he talks like. The postmodernism conversation has started, albeit in a really stupid way, but like, here it is, you know.
Well, I mean, you gotta give him credit. Greg started the conversation. You could say it was wrong, but he did, and now people were talking about it.
There was a conversation before.
I never heard it.
It's been a conversation for a long
Well,
time.
no, normally the conversation
Postmodernism was just invented.
Yeah. Normally,
Last-
the conversation about
I've seen that
postmodernism is
conversation before.
well, yeah, but it's like cultural Marxism,
I think-
the Frankfurt School, the fucking socialist, evil progressives that are trying to like.
I'll give Craig.
Those aren't conversations. Those are
Credit.
dialogues.
I'll give Craig. What is his name? I'll give that guy credit for that. I
A
will.
conversation and a
Yes.
dialogue.
Is it Craig?
It's the fucking same thing.
But either way,
I'm sorry, I'm drunk.
who's drunk?
That's
I don't
not
know
a conversation.
anything.
That's two people talking. You're like, wait, isn't that?
I'm sorry, Chrissy. I'm sorry.
It's not a
That's like the
conversation, it's
community
dialogue.
argument that we have. We're not a community. We're just people who hang out with each other and agree with each other and do things together and have like sex and stuff.
Well, we.
Then have children together.
Oh,
Whoa.
I know what that's a reference to. I can hear your dog whistling.
Shut up.
Your dog
I'm
whistling.
sorry. I will
Look,
take it back. There's no
we-
sex in the.
we walk- There's sex. There's clearly sex. I smelled it all over the place.
Did you and Pat try to get
That
sex?
was masturbation.
Look, I tried to get sex, but Logan Paul was sucking all the sex out of the room.
That's true. Yeah.
Who's
Like, how do you get
Paul?
sex with Logan Paul, or even worse, Jake Paul? When one of the Paul brothers is around, all the sex is just like it's like
I didn't
it's
know
just
there were
dried up.
brothers. There was.
Yeah, they
there's
are.
multiple.
Is
They're
he like the
cancerously
new
brothers.
Backstreet Boys?
No, the Backstreet Boys wish they're like the old
The old guys.
Logan and Jake Paul from like a year ago, back before they were famous. But anyway, they were on the Disney Channel, and so they had the perfect way to transition into this thing, and they are kind of the hot shit right now. Like, we watch YouTube, and I'm sure you've noticed. I don't know how we're still in this community, by the way, because we don't talk about topics in this community much. I mean, our last couple videos did, even though in the dumbest way possible. But
Well,
like,
you fit right in. Like,
yeah, but we talk about other YouTubers and shit like that. I watch a lot of YouTube, and I watch all of YouTube. And if I think something's funny, then I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to soak that up. And there's a, and like, so sitting around, and actually, you know what, I've like sitting around chatting with you guys. Actually, the three of you, I really like a lot. Chrissy has been watching our videos since before anyone knew who the fuck we were. I don't even know how she found us.
I don't
Maybe
either.
Chris-
I don't remember.
Maybe Christy. Christy was one of our first couple hundred subscribers back when we were just talking about atheism. So maybe Christy, but
Christy's cool. People don't give Christy enough credit.
look,
Christy's cool.
actually, I feel like when we did that video with that Tim was in with Christy, there were a lot of compliments about Christy and how she could have a laugh at the situation, when actually she had been on Twitter making some serious comments about the Lacey and Chris Ray Gun situation. But she could come on the video and just have a laugh with us. Actually, she was the first person I thought of.
you know what? Like, people were actually like, because I talked to you about it in private. Like, I was like,
Yeah.
wow, you're having Jenny McDermott on your video? Like, that's going to be kind of fucked up. And you were like, yeah, people are going to be pissed. And I didn't really I didn't really believe that they would really be pissed. But then I read your comment section or whatever, and like heaps of people were saying, Jenny McDermott is in your fucking video.
Yeah.
You fuck, that's too far for me. You guys used to be cool, And I was like, you were right. Like, people were pissed off about that.
That was
Yeah,
a fantastic video.
No,
I
it
really
was
liked that
fun.
video.
I think if someone
was-
like,
it was
even if someone that you super hate is willing to be in something for the sake of comedy, that's kind of like poking fun at everybody.
Well,
like,
I'll
Well,
say,
it's not that
can I
big a deal.
say that I went to Christy
one of
because
the least bad things
you know,
Jenny's ever done. Sorry, cut you off.
that, yeah, well, it's right up there.
That's what I always do.
Anyway, I went to Christy because we had some issues. We did. and I
With
wasn't
what?
thrilled about certain things, and I was like, I
Issues
don't
with
know
what?
what to do. Issues with their latest video, which was upsetting.
But we're not allowed to talk about that, remember?
That we're not
Right, we're
allowed
not
to
allowed.
talk about.
But
Everybody
what did,
gets
well, what did
sued.
Christy?
Until Fat Pat.
Well, I'm
until
interested
Fat
what
Pat
Christy.
comes in.
If she,
Christy, I talked to Christy about it because I went to Christy and I was like, I don't know what to do. And I told her the whole situation. And she was like,
killed.
you know, because I don't think Christy gets enough respect, and I don't think she gets enough credit because, yeah, she can be tough. You know, she's not the easiest person in the entire world to get to know.
Yeah.
But she was like, are they willing to listen to you? Are they willing to talk to you? Are they willing to hear what you have to say? If they are, then keep that channel open and keep going and just talk to them and see, you know, where it goes and where it leads. Like, you shouldn't just cut people out. You should talk to them.
Yeah.
Like,
Well,
I think that was a really, it was very, I don't know. She's kind of a mentor for me in many ways. And I really respected her for being like, look, I know you're upset and I know that it's not the coolest thing in the world for you. And I know whatever, but you can keep this channel open if people are willing to listen to you. She's like, if they're not willing to listen to you, fuck them.
Well, but look,
Yeah,
I think people...
look, she's told me that stuff before. Christy's Christy's had problems with us before. And she's come right out and said, like, well, you know, I feel like your message in that was really fucked up. You know, what I think what you were getting at, is this what the point you were trying to make? And I'm like, yeah, I guess it was. She's like, that's fucked up. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. But like, we do feel like, you know, the thing is, though, a couple times I thought she had broke up with us for good. I will say that, like, that was it is broken up with us is enough. It's okay when we make fun of one side, but not the other. I think she's been around long enough that she's like, you know what, hang out because they're likely to take a shot at the other side here next, and then that'll be funny. But she's actually been really cool and like talked to us about some of these things, and I really did appreciate you actually talking to me about your position. And I thought about it a lot. Because my dogs won't stop barking. And hey, what the fuck?
Oh, jeez. I'm calling the police.
Yeah, me too.
There's a real crime. A man is yelling at a dog on the internet.
Adorable dog too.
Make it stop.
But the thing is, we do consider ourselves to be more in the shitlord camp, and we do consider, but I value that we have people in our audience like you and Christy and everything that will give us feedback in an honest way and not start a flag war. Check out who brought the topic back.
Yes, it's been a long time.
Call back. It's what I'm good at. But go into, you know, those kind of tactics. You can send me a message and say, hey, I felt like this was offensive in this way, and this, you know, and this is a problem, and we can have a talk about it. And the thing is, we do keep those things in mind, especially when we find the points to be reasonable. Sometimes it's hard for any of us as human beings when talking to another human being. We all look out at the same eyes we've looked at our whole lives. We've seen some shit that we've seen. We've had the relationships we've been through. We've known the people we've known. We've had the influences and the parents and the teachers and all that we each personally have had. So we can look at the same thing from different perspectives and see it different ways. And so sometimes it's hard to get over those things. But then sometimes it's just a matter of looking at the thing, like somebody comes and says, hey, well, look at it this way. It's just a little bit different, and you see it and it makes sense to you. So in those cases where we get feedback and someone says something, and you're like, you know what, that makes sense, and I just didn't look at it from quite that angle. We'll keep that in mind moving forward. We're going to make mistakes. We're going to say things the wrong way. We're going to be inappropriate with our messages, and that's not going to stop. But I feel like as long as we keep learning and we keep our friends, we keep these relationships we've got like with you guys, and we keep a civil dialogue, I think everybody's better off in the long run instead of pushing everyone to the margins, pushing everyone far left and far right. The more we can try to stay and hang out in the middle and have some chats and, you know, rate some poos.
Exactly what I was going to say.
It always comes back either to the topic or poos. You never know which one it's going to be.
Yeah, they're interchangeable.
I think I genuinely think that that's very important. I think that we're just not talking to each other anymore. I don't know why.
Hey,
I don't
hold
know
on.
why we
Read
stopped
this super
talking to
chat.
people.
Read this super chat. Michael Gable.
$25.
Michael Gable is the best among us, by the way, I want to say.
What does he want from me?
What do you want from me? You know what? He did leave a message.
What was it for?
I just enjoyed the stream and wanted to say thanks. He's actually from my neck of the woods.
But what should I spend the money on? Drugs?
No, you should send it to me.
No, because you've already got access to the internet and ratemypoo.com. What else do you need?
Yeah, that's true.
That's true.
What do you want, dude?
Yeah,
you megalomaniac.
But also, I don't think that we necessarily have to talk about like these topics. I think it's most of the time it's just enough that we actually kind of talk. And it could be about Melt movies, about Mantis movies, about.
But also, like, I had an experience today, like that made me think about how people simply don't see things the same way. Like Ben Garrison, who's this hardcore right-wing cartoonist, he just made a cartoon which is like General Petraeus and McManus like on strings, and the person holding the strings is George Soros, and he's like ha 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 ha, and then above George Soros is a big hand that says the Rothschilds on it, and he's manipulating George Soros. And then Rothschild is like, rah, 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 rah. And I was just like, wow, this shit is insanely anti-Semitic. So I retweeted something about it being anti-Semitic. And then some guy started commenting to me about like, Tim, how's this anti-Semitic? And I was like, well, look at it. And he's like, but it's not. What's anti-Semitic about like George Soros, a Jew, controlling the generals being controlled by another Jew? It's just like, yeah, just think about it. Have a look at that. Think more about it. Just like, should I have to guide you into why that?
The thing is,
he doesn't see the reality the same way as me. And I think, like,
you know what? When you described it,
right? Go on.
When you described it, I didn't see that in my mind. Actually, it's so funny that you did. I see what your perspective is, and this is one of those things. When you described it, I saw it as like, here we go with the Soros money again. The money controlling the generals who are disagreeing with Donald Trump or whatever. I see what you're doing.
It's putting a step back in history. Like a Jew is controlling these people, and he is being controlled by more Jews. And then it's kind of like people saying this is like anti-Jew inception. How far back does the Jewspiracy go? You know? And I was like, I cannot see anything more racist than this. But people didn't think it was racist.
Talk to a leftist, a person who's really on the left, and you bring up cultural Marxist, don't. Because as soon as you do that, they hear the Jewish conspiracy, and they will just stop listening.
I've taken to calling it the Jewspiracy because it seems to fit.
But what's so fantastic? What's so fantastic about Ben Garrison's comics is that he has to label them for people to understand because they're so terrible.
Yeah, because you're like, whose hand is that? That like wrinkly clawed hand? Oh, it's the Rothschilds, of course.
CNN, Rothschilds, Crooked Hillary.
Basically, the swamp. Everything's the swamp. But to me, it's like, you know, because I feel like when Pat and Fain made their video, you know, I'm sure like to you guys, you're thinking like this like what we're doing is just really funny because it's like amusing because A, B, and C, like it's just real funny and shit. But then other people see it through a different lens where they might be like, oh, that's transphobic or whatever. But you don't like see it that way when you're making the video, you know? So
if Fat Pat was on here,
yeah,
I would tear you guys to shreds, but he's not, so.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if you've developed like a different sense of humor or a way of seeing things, you're not necessarily going to to make the same connections other people make when they see the video, and that's why when you have to have like dialogue about why somebody thinks that's saying something transphobic versus another person watching it just thinking
that's not Tim. That's not dialogue. That's conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on, Tim. You keep screwing those two things up. Dialogue and conversation. Get it right. They're not
I
interchangeable.
will say, like,
it's a dialectic, actually.
if
that's
you're
a big
gonna
word.
start a conversation with humor, and I think that that's a good thing to do. I think it's good to start a conversation with humor, with something that maybe people haven't seen before, but you shouldn't be afraid to actually follow that conversation where it leads.
Yeah, I agree.
And,
I
But
agree.
people
And
are also
sometimes
like-
that's tough,
Oh,
but
sorry.
I agree.
But people like the social justice people always like nagging at us. We just want to do our fucking Pepe memes, you know? And then they're like, hey, that's kind of racist, or like, that's kind of bigoted, this is a bit sexist, or whatever. That's transphobic. And we just want to like do our stupid jokes or whatever. And that seems like that's kind of a divide.
but on the same thing, if you go to Seriously TV's website, if you go to their comment section, all you will see is butthurt. Incredible amounts of butthurt.
I
like,
thought you
just
that you would just see the word butt hurt 10 million times. It's like, really?
well, no, but
That's quite
you'll,
specific.
you'll
I
see.
know what you mean now.
Basically, Seriously TV, they like, and these are clearly satirical, clearly comedic, right? And I'm going to give Oscar huge credit here, because when Oscar, well, what was her name? That redheaded comic came out with the Trump
Kathy
thing.
Griffin, whatever.
Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
And she was making a joke. He was like, it's a joke. Like, this is what we
I
do.
actually felt differently about that.
You may, well, but we're social justice advocates. So we
No,
would.
but it was nothing to do with
But-
social justice. It was basically just depicting a president of a country in a violent way. To me, can in a roundabout way be implying that you should try to kill the president or something?
All right,
So
but
it's like-
Oscar,
Yeah.
I'm giving credit to Oscar, and you're like interrupting
Thank
me,
you,
and I
dear.
think that's very rude.
It's what? It's my channel.
Well, shut up.
I'm a man.
I think
Yeah,
you
and
know.
read your other super chat. Why am I having to do this? Read your other super chat. You're making like money like monkey in a beat off contest, but you won't read their messages. Do it.
Okay, I don't even know how I'm supposed to do with this super chat thing.
Oh my god,
Just
you
read their
noob.
damn
He's embarrassing me.
I
He's
just
embarrassing
disable
me
it.
in front of my anti friends.
Okay,
Wait,
this
that
super
doesn't
chat
sound
says,
good.
how many glasses of wine has Chrissy had tonight? Cut her off and free Kiev or something like that. Damn it. I'm sending
What?
this just as things get deep. So they felt bad that they were interrupting us.
That's
How
so
many glasses of
rude.
wine have you had? Cut her off and free Kiev.
Yeah, are
How
you
many have I
booze?
had?
Are you
I-
booze
I-
shaming her?
It's a super chat. I didn't
Yes.
write it. Someone else did
He
it.
is. That's really rude,
It's
right?
not my comment.
Look, I'm
Let's
not
flag.
a big
Let's
person.
flag.
Anyways,
Yeah.
you're in the middle of saying stuff.
I was in the middle of saying
Go.
I actually really appreciated that Oscar was completely consistent. Like, he was like, if I'm going to say that this joke over here is okay, then I'm going to say that this joke over here is okay.
That's right.
And I'm going to be completely not a hypocrite about it. I'm going to be completely consistent about it. Jokes are jokes. I'm not going to say this joke is okay, but this joke isn't. And I think that's really important, because I don't see that. I don't see that
Yeah.
from each side. Like
Yeah.
I don't see any kind of consistency. And you know, Fain, because you were talking about like progressive comics, which, I mean, come on, look at Wonder Woman. Look at Wonder Woman. She was.
Oh, that doesn't get count. That's grandfathered in.
You know, but she was very progressive. I had her underoos. Come on, shut up.
In the movie?
But-
Yeah, me too. I mean, somebody else did that I knew.
I actually did you guys see the movie? Because I left that movie thinking I don't know what was that feminist about it, except that she was a woman. Like, because
That's all it takes now.
a lot of the movie she's just being talked down to by that guy.
Well, that was always a thing.
The guy in the movie is constantly like, you just don't
I haven't
understand
seen it.
anything. He's
I
like, he's
haven't
always
seen
like,
it.
you can't do that. Wonder Woman, stop.
Well. Also, remember, she comes from a tribe.
Right, so
Like,
she's kind of like fish out of water kind of situation.
Yeah, so you have to explain to her social. And I haven't seen the movie yet. I'm just basing this off of the comic books.
Very
so sometimes
early
you have
on,
to say, "Hey, you have to wear underwear."
Very
Wonder
early
Woman.
on in the movie, I felt like she should have just said, "Hey, man, how about you shut the fuck up? I'm the person with the superpowers, and I'm going to throw you through a fucking wall if you keep telling me what I can and can't do. You know, you're not Wonder Woman. You're just some random dude," and then smacked him in the face. And then I would have been like, this is a much better movie.
Carter Wonder Woman. Has anybody seen the Linda Carter Wonder Woman other than me?
Of course. I recorded every episode.
Exactly. So she was always like...
Commenters are saying that's the point, but she's a fucking Amazon. She should have smacked him in the face.
So, Tim.
She's an Amazon.
Is a serial interrupter. Everyone should know that.
I saw Jenny McDermott in the chat earlier complaining about him talking over a woman. He's like, "Oh, Tim's talking over a woman again." So surprising.
Men can't be feminists, so I can just. Why even bother trying?
Over anything. Tim would talk over Gandhi. If Gandhi were here giving us all like peacefulness advice, Tim would be like, "I think you know,
like,
that's
you should always listen to actually Gandhi. Well, you should always listen to other people. Gandhi, I've got to
So, but the Linda Carter, Carter Wonder Woman, and sort of like I think a lot of the Wonder Womans after her, because, well, you have to understand that Wonder Woman came from kinky places. But let's not talk about that. Let's talk about
I have to pee.
Keep talking.
Go.
I'm gonna pee.
But there was always this sort of thing of being of almost female supremacist, right? Of being like, women are like, if a woman did something bad, she would say something like, you know, I would have expected something better from you,
a woman,
because you're a woman, and I would have expected but it made sense because of her character. It made sense because she grew up with all women and this idea that women were sort of...
Well, you know what? It made sense in my household too, actually. And I remember this is something I watched with my family, because I am old as dirt. And my mother, this wasn't an unusual message in the 70s. It's so funny, in early 80s, when I was a real small child. It's so funny that I just don't remember these conversations about all this. Yes, Wonder Woman would assert herself like that, just like you're saying there, and like, so I expect more of you as a woman. And I know why the writing happened that way, because she came from Amazon. They held themselves to, or from the Amazon tribes, they held themselves to a very high standard, and so she would be disappointed with women who wouldn't act right. And what's funny is that message paralleled how things were in my family. My mother was very much the boss of things, and expected more of my sister, and that's why my sister isn't on YouTube and has a fine career and a nice family. What the fuck am I doing with my life? Anyway,
turn your shirt around. That's the first start. You got to take your shirt off, turn it around. We'll know you're on the right path.
That probably won't happen. I'm not going to ever be on the right path. But the thing is, like, I think sometimes we shine too much of a light on the subtleties of these things, and we get too much into judging some of the subtle things, like you were just talking about there, and what the significance means. And sometimes I think it just means what it means, and it's not always systematic. It's not always a sign that there's some kind of problem with the system and with society.
It's 5 a.m. Do we have to talk about subtle things and systematic things? And can't we just rate some poo?
No, we really, really can't, Oscar. That was our only rule.
Oh, hey, what day is it, Tim?
It is fucking cat.
Not the date. The day of the week.
It's 29th of the.
No, not the date. The day of the week.
Saturday.
All right, that's so cool, dude. Time is so cool. I'm at Friday. It's like we're time traveling.
People are actually getting annoyed about my man's-interrupting. This kind of sucks.
Yeah, it should. Christy, everybody's enjoyed listening to Christy slur her way through these things, and then you and I just keep man-interrupting.
Flying in, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're doing fine.
I'm very clear, and clarity of things has been very good.
Oh, yes.
That sentence is a perfect example of the clarity and the very cleariness of all of your...
Before I left, we were talking about Wonder Woman and stuff.
I'm having fun. I don't care about these other people.
Okay, good.
They're not giving me any money.
I'm going to go grab another beer, and you can catch Tim up real quick on
Before you go, Fain, it's 5 in the morning here. I'm just gonna go to sleep.
All right, look, man. I know you probably have to work sometime next month, so it's always good to see you, Oscar. And man, really, you know what you could make? You would make us everybody happy, and I think everybody in the community happy, is if you would make an old-fashioned fucking
banana.
Look, one of your old-fashioned videos, dude. The classic Into the French videos.
It's coming.
With the smelly shirt, the whole thing.
Into the
no,
fridge?
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that, but I'm doing devices.
All right.
Bananas?
But I am smelling.
Okay, good news. Do you have very good hygiene or no? You don't wash or anything?
He's Scandinavian.
It's hot as shit here.
Is it?
Scandinavian. I can't anything below like 20 degrees Celsius and I die.
Oh shit. That's right, because you've got that Norse blood kind of god stuff going on.
I require ice.
There's gefilte fish involved. I don't know how, but there is.
Well, look, I think everybody would love that, Oscar. The internet loves you. You're the best of us. Yeah, fucking debunk some more ghosts and some devices. The device ones are the most hilarious fucking ones.
Oh my god, aren't they? I love
Tim,
the one that was like, you're a radio. You're talking on a radio.
Oh, thank you guys. Well, I'm seriously, I am working on several devices, so it's coming. Good. It's slow goings, but it's getting there. So you'll get your
good. Right. I need it. We all need it. The internet needs
my beauty sleep.
That was a long goodbye.
All right, man. See you guys later.
Just fucking leave.
All right, buddy. All right,
fuck you, Tim.
Oh,
I love both of you, but not Tim.
All right, bye.
Look, Tim, if you haven't seen his videos, you really should go watch his Into the French series. It's very funny and very good stuff.
It's awesome.
I haven't seen them really.
I love Oscar's videos. I love all of them. And I'm so proud. Like that video with the what are those little people that the little kids watch, with the things on their bellies?
Oh, yeah. No, God, and they were all gay. God, what
yeah.
Gay.
He did the weirdest little video clip and just put it out there. With these things
inspired by me.
Really? Was it? Because I loved it. I commented on that. I was like, this is so weird and dark and like homoerotic.
Because I sent him a video of these little they're for like 2 or 3 year old people. What are they?
Teletubbies.
Teletubbies, but they're all in like
gross.
black and white, and they're coming at him, and I'm like, I sent this video to him. I'm like, they're coming. There's no hope, you know.
I have no
right
idea
after that, he's put them out, and I was like, yes, this is me. I added to the universe.
It's really good. And when Oscar stopped making his big production videos, it made me sad. He was such a big inspiration to us, and that time when we got to do that crossover video where we made we're like made 2 videos that interchanged. We released them at the same time, so it looked like we were responding to each other, but at the same time. That was like one of our proudest moments of our channel, because we were such big fans of his, and he was like 5 times larger than us. It's surreal to have more subs, and it's undeserved. He's a very funny guy.
Well, I like this question sounds insulting, but hopefully it's not. But like, why didn't you think that Poisoning the Well has more subs? Because it seems like for the quality of your videos, like the production values and stuff, that you've got far fewer subs than I would expect a channel like that to have.
You know what? It makes sense, and we get a lot of comments where people say that. We always appreciate that too. But the thing is, we don't have a consistent message. If we were out there like some of these channels that really take fire, we get a consistent message. We go after one certain type of people. We say this is stupid. We do humor that is a direct attack, you know, and we go right at it and say your ideas are dumb, and we just do the same formula over and over. Then people, I think, we'd grow a lot faster. What happens, and you'll see this a lot with our videos. We do a video, and then so people will see it, like with the video we did with you guys, and so we got subscribers that were more in line with you guys, and they were like, "Oh, this is very funny," and ha ha ha, it's nice, and the jokes. And then the next video we do is making fun of transgender people, and they're like, "Get out, out of the ship." These guys are out of their minds, and so the fan base we do have, well, the subscribers we have, I don't know about a fan base. They're really hard on us, but they understand that we're going to sometimes make fun of.
I'm like your only fan base. Me and Chrissy. We're like the only ones.
The only people who stick through thick and thin, except
like
I don't know about
you guys
that.
have stuck harder things. You've had some more direct attacks at you. You know, leveled at you. But then again, you know, we'll make fun of big YouTubers, and we're making fun of all these different subjects. We don't have a common theme. There's nothing to lock it together.
Well, because you know, but like sometimes when I see much more, sorry for interrupting, much more popular videos, the thing that often seems to tie them together is just really good production values. Like, it's not necessarily like how good the video is. It's just if it looks awesome and it sounds awesome, you tend to see more subs and more likes and stuff. And when I watched your latest video, just like really good production values, I was like, I have no idea why this is not more popular, because if all your videos are this good production value, then you should be really popular. You know? Well,
they don't all have that good a production value. Hey, Johnny, you're killing me with that squeaky toy, dude. You're killing the whole internet. God,
it's fine.
He's doing it on purpose. He's really evil. But what we keep doing is we try every time we do one of these big videos is to learn new tricks, to push and try new techniques we haven't used. So really, it's one of those things where you look back 6 months ago, our production was still good, but nowhere like it is now. And then a year ago, it was laughable. And then you look a year and a half ago, and it's just fucking cringe. It's just that the thing that we do that I think a lot of channels don't is we just keep pushing ourselves to do better quality and learn new things every video, even if we have to force it. We have to learn some new thing and force it so we get better. We hope eventually that everything will catch up with all the effort we put in. But for now, we're happy with the people we get to. We have a bigger audience than we ever expected. And so it's cool. It's fun, even though it is hard. And sometimes doing those videos, I know you must have had the same thing with the Platypus videos. You had to cut so much shit. And put everything together and animate all these. It's just so much time so that you could do one basic joke. Haha, this funny looking animal is an alpha. Well,
I actually have an entire Platypus video just sitting on my hard drive that I recorded, but I haven't edited. So I've got all the audio and everything. I haven't listened back to it in quite a while. I think it's quite funny. Maybe I should release it sometime.
You should release it, man.
It's about him struggling with depression and turning to the internet to help him with his depression problem, and then realizing that that it's not that he's depressed, it's that he's just being a beta fag and that he needs to toughen up. And then learning to repress all of his emotions. And that's
I think you should release that. Hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Now it is me and Chrissy. The final stage. Are you even still here, Chrissy? Now it's just me alone. I knew this was going to happen. This always happens to me. Why do I push people away? All right, people. Chester Benningfield killed himself in Lincoln Park. That's pretty depressing. I was sad to hear about that, even though I didn't like their music very much. And I want to revisit their first album because Oh, Chrisiousity, you're still here.
Oh, I kind of am.
I thought I just had to talk. Because no
I
one's
just
here.
went to the place where the liquor was, and then I came back.
There's a
But I
place
like
where the liquor
Chester.
is?
Yes, there's a place where the liquor is. It's in the tiny little refrigerator over here by the bathroom where the toilet just sits on the floor.
How the hell did Chrissy get to your fridge? That's incredible.
I just assume that's where everybody goes. It's where I go.
They're like, oh, the alcohol's gone. Like, Chrissy.
And then I get to come back.
Place geographically. You somehow got on my alcohol.
Yeah, and then the internet Patreon sends us these disposable bottle openers, and that has been a big savings because you could it helps open your beer and then you just
you
throw them
liar.
away.
Lies.
You just throw them away, and they send you more the next month. It's
Why
great.
do you
Patreon's a good
Seriously,
service.
I've never made a dime. Should I start charging people?
Super chat. That's where it all is. Because like I don't know. Somebody recently, who the fuck was it? Andy Warsky. He was very angry that people said the conversations are just about the super chat. But at least like as someone who has not made very much money off super chat, it is very hard to resist just being like, just gonna do a random stream and just like soak in this money, you know? Like, doesn't it kind of? It's an incentive to just talk shit.
It's changed a lot about the channels, and actually a lot of the channels we try to keep it to a minimum. We don't do many streams on our channel for that reason. We want you to come for the video productions, and we don't want it to seem like we're just clicking on the camera and drinking until we're falling down, which was our last stream. And I'm really sorry to anybody who may have seen that. But we just drank until we fucking, I guess one of our heads fell into the computer and turned it off. I don't remember it ending. But
it's Vadim. He was wondering if he could join.
I would love to talk to Vadim.
Oh, Vadim. Hi, Vadim. I love you.
I like Vadim.
I love you, man.
And he was like instrumental in creating the conspiracy link between social justice and them. And he wanted to become friends with us so that we could start this whole thing of calling people racist.
Shut up and put it on.
And he's a mastermind.
Just shut the hell up and put him on.
That blew up in his face.
Well, no, because now we are blue pilling a whole generation thanks to Vadim.
Blue pilling. That stuff. Don't use that analogy. It doesn't work that way. Dude. We're blue pilling and putting everybody to sleep in their pods, putting them to sleep in their pods, and they dream the dreams we give them to dream.
Ahmed Skeptic said the Enlightenment was the red pill of its time, and I was just like, "Oh, kill me."
Well,
so wrong.
You can't blame him.
I actually I talk to Ahmed Skeptic sometimes, and I do like him as a person. And I know like some fans and subscribers get annoyed at me when I say stuff like that because they're like, he says this and that on his videos. He can't be a good person. Like he can't be.
Is
someone that you like.
Vadim here yet? Because I haven't seen him. So you should come on.
I'm inviting him. God, we have such a love-hate relationship, Chrissy. And I've completely forgotten what I'm saying now.
Good. I'll say something about me in June.
I do.
While you're putting Vadim on.
But
that's your job.
No matter how much I like him, I cannot condone a video where you do zero research and you're just talking out your ass. Like I can't defend that. It doesn't matter how much I like the guy. I don't know what to say about that.
Put Vadim on, and I'll talk about June.
I have, but then there'll be a whole nother dude interrupting you.
That's all right.
In a very annoying way.
Yeah.
Send him the link.
I did.
Okay.
So,
here he is.
June. Hi, Vadim. I love you. How are you?
We're busy
Is this-
fighting.
Already.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. Because the last hangout I was in, there were some sound issues. Got them all figured out. How you guys doing?
Good. Chrissy wanted you to join because she doesn't like me. So you guys
Yeah.
I
talk.
love you.
Lame, dude. You're not that cool.
I know
He's a
that,
big beta.
but I want to see this amazing conversation you guys are going to have. So I'm just going to sit here and just watch. Go.
Yeah, right.
Go.
Good,
Come on. Do it.
Actually, Chrissy, I wanted to ask you because you've come up a couple of times in some stupid Twitter bullshit that I probably should not have spent 3 hours of my life on. Of course, about the in relation to the Sargon thing. There was more that occurred today, and I saw one of your videos kind of talking about it. And basically, what I wanted to ask was, I mean, people are saying like, "Oh, she admitted to it," and what I got from your video was like, you were more kind of like, "Yeah, I kind of like lost my temper." I mean, because I mean, maybe you feel differently, but I do not think that you should have been penalized in the way that you were for what you said. How do you feel about it?
I have to change the
Alright.
description. Surprise appearance by Creationist Cat.
So the cat hasn't been here though, so I don't know what you're
Oh,
talking about.
by a slave.
But
Yeah,
I will.
slave.
By human
I will
slave for Dean.
That's me.
Stop interrupting. For Christ's sake, this guy.
I was trying to interrupt Vadim, but then you started talking, so it just spilled over into me interrupting you. Like it wasn't.
Did I break the terms of service? Yes, I broke the terms of service. All right, so I'm going to say I was angry. I was
Right.
so angry. And it wasn't like I just said to myself, I'm going to create drama and break terms of service. I
Right.
saw somebody who had, Heather, I loved Heather. Heather was a very, very deeply good person. She was a better person than I am. She's a better person than most of us. She was always trying to reach out across the aisle. I mean, she was talking to people that I would never talk to in a million years. She talked to Paul Elam, and she used to come and tell me all the time that I was being a little too harsh, or that I was being too much of a bitch, or I was, well, I mean, she didn't put it that way. She was much nicer. But I would have said, yo, bitch, but she was like, don't you think that, it would be better if you were kinder, if you were nicer, if you were more decent? Don't you think that there's this sort of tribalism thing that's going on and you shouldn't be thinking about it in this sort of us versus them sort of way? And is that the way you're thinking about it? And how are you doing it? And so I cannot express to you, there aren't words to express to you how difficult her death has made things for me. There aren't words to express, because when it came out, I clicked on the video. After hearing that Alexander, who we all know we had some issues with, we all know that there were some complicated relationships with him. But when it came out that he had shot someone and it was a woman, we didn't know who it was originally. So when we saw this live stream going up, I clicked on it because I believed that there might be information to be had. And when I saw what they were doing, I can't even, there aren't words to explain, listening to the things that were said. And I didn't listen to it very long. I just clicked it off. So
yeah, I would imagine that would be difficult for, like, even if you knew ahead of time what was said with something like that being so fresh. I personally, I would not be able to keep myself from like you know, the temptation of watching something like that. Oh, like the most famous people inside this community that I'm sort of a part of are talking about someone that I loved who just passed away. I have to watch that. So when all these people say things like, oh, they were warned, they knew it was going to be, you know, like really racy and adult oriented or whatever the fuck they say, I'm just like, so the fuck what? Maybe if they said that stuff like a year later, or even a month later, I mean, it would still be wretched, but it would not have the same disgusting impact that it did. And people are like, to me, they're like, you know, oh man, you're a comedian. Like, what? You don't like jokes? Like, come on, like you can't take edgy jokes. And it's like, yeah, I can. It's like one of my favorite. Sorry, I'm going to wrap this up in a second, but one of my favorite jokes ever is Louis C.K. has a joke, which is, you know, I think the measure of how horrible a person is how long it took them to masturbate after 9/11. And for me, that was in between the first and the second tower going down. So that's a hilarious joke when he's doing it in his stand-up. But if he was doing that joke at a 9/11 memorial in front of victims of that tragedy, well, then that totally fucking changes things. So anyway, sorry, I went on a little rant there, but I hope I didn't sidetrack.
I didn't actually know. I didn't actually know what was going to happen. Like, yeah. I should say that. Maybe I should have been more careful. Maybe I should have like looked at things differently, but I was so desperate to find information because you don't know. I was texting people, I was tweeting people, I was emailing people. I was like, who is this woman? Because, you know, I know Harley and I knew Ivy well. And I was like, God, please don't let it be one of these people.
Wow. So you found out about that and so that informs even more how a couple of weeks ago when you flipped out on which I wouldn't even characterize it as such, but you know, when you had that strong reaction, that's what informed it.
It absolutely did, and I think it informed it with Christy too. But you know, I didn't like talk to Christy beforehand. I just saw that particular tweet, and I lost it. I'm not even going to lie to you that I lost it. I was so upset.
Yeah, but one thing that's come up recently is people being like, you brought it up. You brought up the whole skeptic feminist situation, which means that you're to blame.
No, we really didn't.
Well, that's like what they say.
Like, to me, in my heart, the only reason I haven't been going after Sargon every day of every minute is because, and all of them, not just Sargon, Crown T, Uzalu, V, all of them, is
whoever the fuck that other guy was, just some random hanger on.
Whatever.
Who he is.
The only reason is because Heather would not have wanted me to.
Right.
Like, that's it. If it wasn't for that, I would. I can't explain it.
Is it that because it's personal?
Oh,
yeah,
it's deeply personal.
It's a personal thing playing out in public, you know, and that's always a very awkward dynamic. Like something that's personal to you is in public, you know.
I never expect, like, to me, I'm just this tiny little YouTuber with like a couple of thousand subscribers. It doesn't matter. I don't think of myself as a celebrity or a public figure. But, or I never used to.
But it's like a public event. In this scene.
And this happened, and it's almost like I got introduced to the concept of myself as a public figure, as of other people as a public figure. And let's not beat around the bush. This is kind of like what ContraPoint said. Like, we just found out what would happen if one of us died.
what that look. I don't know if that. Come on now. Look, it's dark humor, and I think if that situation happened with anybody in the community, there's going to be dark humor.
It depends who killed you.
That happens.
Honest. If
yeah, that was a little ironic.
No, if you got killed by a feminist, it's hilarious.
Look, I understand. We did a stream right after that, and we had a conscious decision not to. And actually, it was right before their stream on the same day. And Pat and I had streamed, and we decided we were not going to talk about that. And mainly because
human.
I hear you, man. I hear you. Can I say, like, look, if it was a matter of, okay, they discuss it and a few offhanded jokes get said, then that's one thing. They kind of set up the whole the whole hangout for that purpose. They like gave it some sort of title and basically like prepped people, letting people know that this is going to be more or less like a really edgy joke fest.
It was called tabloid discussion on Skeptic Feminist. I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Discussing that. So right off the bat, there's that. Then there's the fact that, you know, this whole BS about they were just making fun of the killer. No, there were several times where those jokes
were quite a few times.
Well, here's a joke from that. I guess they won't be making many videos anymore. That was one of the jokes.
And then at the end of the day, okay, let's say they did that. All right, let's say they had that whole hangout. Things played out like they did. If they at least, you know, some of them could at least say, you know what, the way that played out, that was really douchey. I really understand, like, people's points of, like, thinking that this fucking sucks. Then I would kind of be like, okay, I'd like sort of give them a pass and maybe not a pass, but I'd like forgive it more or less. But there's not even that. And people, when like we have a problem with it. People act like we're like getting on some sort of fucking moral high horse when all we're really doing is saying, like, hey, you're being a really cruel douchebag. And the response is, no, we're not being cruel douchebags. This is humor. Come on. Fuck you. You were a cruel douchebag. Either, like, you know, what do you want to say, man? Sorry.
No, I only want to say, like, it's not possible to make the joke, like, I guess they won't be making videos now. Like, who's going to run their channel? Like, it's not possible to make that joke about the killer. It's literally just like one of them's dead, which means that their channel is going to suffer. That's funny. Like, how do you make that about the killer? Like, it's not. You know, so that was a lie that the jokes were about the killer. Like, it's not true.
Just the thing is, we in private we made a couple of jokes about it. We were talking, and we did listen to that stream later. And the real crime is this is a group of people who come across as intellectuals and deep thinkers, and the jokes were bad. The jokes were horrible. The jokes were bad. They just weren't funny. Have some comedians on and do it a little funnier.
But isn't that different? Like, because like the whole argument was that the joke is about the killer or whatever, and if it's not about the killer, it's about someone being murdered that is on a different ideological plane than you, and you finding that amusing and you just want to laugh about the fact someone that you don't like ideologically died. You know.
So Vadim, I want to say this: people. After that Sargon stream, I get a lot of people sending me jokes and memes, and it is painful.
Yeah.
Like, I knew these people. These aren't...
Oh, well, Usalu, he said, so is it too soon? Like, during the stream, he was like, is it too soon to do Russian Deadpool feminist murders memes? One for yes, two for no. And he's like, the ones have it. Let's make memes. And it's like, you're already memeing about how someone got killed. Like,
And then they send it to
You can't
me.
defend that. I
They
mean,
send it
people
to
defend
me, and they send it to
crap.
you, and they send it to Woolly Bumblebee.
Yeah, in the moment, and whenever I say like that was a horrible thing to do, every single time the response I get is, "You're a liar. You're lying. You're just trying to smear Sargon, and you're trying to smear Usla because you hate them." It's like, no, because I have eyes and ears, and I could look at what they were saying. That's it. Like it's right there. It exists. I don't know what the fuck. Yeah.
The most vile joke to me was, I think it was Louis Laveau. Is that his name? He was there. He was probably the least known out of all the people there. And he said, hey, can I just, is it too soon for me to congratulate the shooter? And I've brought up this joke.
Yeah, that was on the stream, right? I remember him saying that.
Yeah. And I brought up this joke several times because the thing is that joke is clearly at the expense of the dead, of Heather. I'm sorry if I'm speaking about this in like a really curt way and it sounds insensitive.
That's all good.
I mean, it's just like, how else? What else? What other interpretation is there? Obviously, that means why would you want to, congratulate this person? What did he achieve? He murdered someone. He murdered
But people are also saying, like, Sargon was not the one making those kind of jokes, which is true. He was just sort of there, and he was like, hey, guys, I don't think we should do this. And then he just sort of sat there for like 2 hours, That's
more
sort of
chicken shit than anybody else.
Well, that's the defensive argument they make.
V at least said, this is a shitty thing to do, and I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
But Sargon was like, oh, this is probably bad.
Like, guys, we shouldn't
I'm going to sit there and giggle. I'll just sit there and go, ha!
And the thing, go on. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Look, his involvement, though, guaranteed that so many more people would be watching. And I don't know. I think that he's a fucking adult.
And who created this system? Who created this edgelordism? Who created this shitlordism that meant that it was okay to do this to people?
But look, okay, so on a hypothetical, like
for a long time,
Sargon is in this hangout and
they're
making all of the jokes and stuff. What do you think he should have done? Like, if he didn't want to speak up and say it, do you think he just should have said, like, I'm going to leave. I don't want to be here?
Yes.
I guess?
Yes.
That's all you really can do, I suppose.
Got up and left.
Right. Yeah, he could have said that. He also could have said, like, hey, guys, I think we're going, like, too far here. I mean, I can kind of see how things can happen when you have like a bunch of drunk guys. Yeah. Everybody's nudging everybody on. Like, if they could just, in retrospect, say, hey, you know what? That was a big fucking dumpster fire and a mistake. Then okay.
He demands that we apologize to him. I mean, he goes way out of bounds.
Right, but he also gets very defensive. Like, that's something I've noticed about him. Like,
well, of course he gets defensive because
he's
he
a
knows.
Very defensive person.
He knows, but
I would be interested in creating some kind of dialogue or conversation with him, but I can't.
I would not.
I'm still cutting you off. Go.
To have him say to me, your friend died. I made fun of her. You apologize to me because you were mean.
That's stupid. Why would you?
You in a fuck you 20 ways to Sunday. Like, I just.
And he also keeps saying to you, like,
why I lost it. All right, I know it. I know that I was too much. I know that I called him a piece of dog shit. I know that I called him a bottom feeder. I know that I called him names, and it broke the terms of service. But
yeah. But you know what? He didn't feel legitimately harassed. I asked him. I said, "Did you feel like truly harassed by this?" And he said, "No, you don't have to actually feel harassed to take advantage of." Well, maybe he didn't use the term "take advantage," but to enforce the terms of service, something of that nature. And that's just like, okay, you're being fucking petty. You're seeing some sort of loophole that you can exploit. And he had said something nearly identical to what you had said earlier that day. He had called a bunch of people, he said, you guys are always being pieces of shit to me. Fuck all of you. Something like that. Which is very similar to what you said. Maybe what you said was a little more extreme, but you certainly could give him a strike, or no, I mean, report him for that. And I never would want anyone to do that. I think that
I wouldn't do that.
What?
He was very rude to me. I never reported him. I've never reported him.
Yeah, I don't think that's the kind of thing anybody should report somebody over. Bad taste isn't report worthy, and it doesn't do anybody any good on either side.
It goes against the spirit of free speech. I mean, I start feeling kind of like a little pretentious and like preachy when I say that, but it's the fucking truth. It goes against which he, more than almost anybody in this whole like YouTube community, beats the drum about all the fucking time. You know, the importance of free speech and whatnot. So and how words can't really hurt you. So it does. My whole thing with pointing him out, like, because earlier today, I don't know if you guys saw it on Twitter. There's no reason why you would. It wasn't a big deal. But there was some like people from righty pole. I don't even know. Is that what they call it? Like, I'm sorry, I'm not too familiar.
It's just pole. It's just pole.
It's lefty pole and pole. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had never heard of the lefty pole one. It was the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, me either.
There's a lefty pole? Cool. That's where I should be.
You were on the list, right? You saw it.
Yeah, because
we were both,
these people had never heard of finding
were
a
both
pole.
on.
Yeah, so these
both on the list.
These people, yeah, and I think you are too.
But Chrisiousity, are you high priority or low?
I'm low.
Oh, I'm sorry. We were talking about it before. We're like, all of the women are low priority.
I don't know. I didn't get why Tom Bella was high priority. I mean, he's
further left. He's an anarchist, commie Nazi, McFascist.
And they found out that he was queer. Shh.
Oh God.
Ooh, snap.
Is gross on a personal level.
That's what they put him as, like,
so he has to be
anarchist. So he's high priority.
Tom is a lovely man. Like, there's nothing offensive about Tom.
Girl, he's not a man,
isn't he?
Yes.
I apologize.
I hope I'd like to just say something real quick because
I'm not following him closely.
Because the thing is,
I will delete this part.
The reason why I want to say this is because of the fact that the shit went down. I think maybe Sargon even made a video about it on his Thinkery channel, and I want to make sure that I get everything out because I don't want some asshole to take just a bit of what I've already said and kind of construct some like shitty video where they're like, anti-free speech, because that's the way they all talk.
True. Accurate.
But I just wanted to get out that because like I made an example of that for people who don't know what the fuck we're talking about. Some people on poll made a list of. Did you guys already explain this earlier? Maybe you did.
Yeah, because it's like the topic of the hangout.
Right.
And reporting.
So these people were like, let's get these people, like flag them for whatever you can. And I put out a tweet saying, essentially, like, and maybe I should bring it up, but it was something to the effect of, this is the kind of shit you get when you employ Sargon's BS, let's use, quote, their rules against them, thing, and what I was trying to say is that not that Sargon was directly responsible, not that he like put out some fucking APB to these people to actually create that list, but that the tactics that he was using against you, I think, is the same thing. Because normally he's said things like that a million times. He would not blink if one of his friends said the same thing to someone else. It's only because he doesn't like you that he thinks like, okay, well, I can exploit the terms of service here and be really petty and take this person down and And yeah, so that's all I wanted to say, that I was not saying that Sargon actually did it, but that his tactics are similar. They're basically what those assholes are doing are like what Sargon did to you on steroids. So
did you see the video where he put out apparently against this list? Because most of it was bitching about me. It was more bitching about me than it was bitching about this list. It was about, well, okay, there's this list, and I don't know what I have to do with anything. Nobody listens to me, but I think it's probably a bad idea. But let me tell you about why I think that Chrisiousity should get fucked.
No, it's exactly like when he went on Joe Rogan, he wouldn't shut up about Anita Sarkeesian because he gets stuck on certain people. And you were the person of the moment. So he's like, half the videos about this list, the other half's about Chrisiousity, because she's the person who is in my what's the expression? She's in my craw. She's the thing.
Maybe.
She's the person in my grill.
All about there's something really not okay about the way that it was talked about. And there was something, it was all about Chrisiousity said mean things to me. Chrisioity doesn't care about my feelings. Chrisiotity's this, Chrisiotity's that. And I just, you know what? Really? Really? Like,
well,
how
are
is
you
this
saying feelings
people,
are bad?
How is this telling people on poll not to go after people? Because he's like, oh, Paul's pretty bad, but nobody cares what I say, and I don't care what they do, and they're fine. But Chrisioity is a terrible human being. Like, you, man, what is that? What is that?
Sargon has feelings, and they're easily hurt, and you should really be mindful of that, because it's not nice when his feelings are hurt. Because it's mean.
I blocked him.
Oh, well, don't do that. It's really mean.
Chrisioity, are you saying that there was like a kind of like an obvious the best way I can describe it is when he was pulling that shit with Anita Sarkeesian, he had a string of tweets where he was saying things like, you know, he had this very put upon tone, which was sort of like, I have never felt so harassed in my life, and, you know, like he was clutching pearls, basically. Is that what he's? Yeah.
He literally said that he doesn't care about my feelings because I don't care about his. You don't care about my feelings.
People
that
have to care more.
literally were the words that exited his mouth.
Well, see, not caring.
You know, this is the thing. If he was just saying something to you, just like, you know, that was entirely about you, that would be one thing. But he chose something that would be insanely hurtful to anyone that knew Heather, in order to hurt you when he said that. So it's sort of like, you know, if he doesn't give a shit about your feelings, fine. But what about all those other fucking people? Obviously, it's fine to target them so long as he gets at you, which is a real scumbag thing to do.
Feelings are wrong. People shouldn't have them.
Well, no.
I hate feelings.
It felt like cognitive dissonance cannibalizing itself watching that 2.5-minute video. It felt like, well, you know, these poll people should probably not do this. I hate Chrisioity. You know, like, and I'm totally going to report her. Like, what the fuck?
I want to hear from Fain. What do you think of all this, man?
I think he's just sitting there being like, what have I gotten myself into?
That's exactly a little bit of that.
I have to get the fuck out of here. My life is a failure. I think that's what he's doing. I could be being so much more popular right now.
Well, the thing is,
he doesn't have anything. He has Nothing.
Well, I'm trying
Let
to-
him speak. He's
I'm trying to think today.
trying.
Stop interrupting.
Oh, let me have some more moonshine.
Jesus.
The thing is, in a way, I believe that the tactics used here are to try to hold up a mirror, and this started with the garbage human comment, which legitimately was uncool. And I got to tell you, I feel like Anita was in a position of power. She's on the stage. She's got the microphone, and the kids are being quiet, and then she attacks. Well, that got a lot of that had a lot of play in the community, including with people like me. I mean, seeing that happen, I was like, wow, all right. And had that conversation like, wow, man, Jesus Christ, she is a little unhinged. That wasn't cool. So
were you
there was
in the audience? Were you in that same place with all the other shitlords?
Yeah, I was at VidCon. Yes.
Yeah, no, but I know that
yeah,
a bunch of them were up at the front. Were you up at the front?
No, I wasn't up there with everybody. But the thing is, that started that, and that was a good political point. Actually, I felt like she looked bad. I felt like she embarrassed her side, and there was no need for it. It was needless. So shining a mirror to that, and then saying, "Oh well, I was harassed." I get it. And I feel like that did play because it shows the examples. Hey, see, you can say you're harassing me. The thing is, drawing that into these other situations, I don't think it plays. Chrisiousity not coming from a position where she's sitting on, up on the panel and has hundreds of thousands of followers and has gotten hundreds of thousands of dollars to, and has spoken from the UN. She's just a smaller channel and had a personal investment in this situation. And so it's punching down. It's punching down.
So Fain, do you get the point, the counter argument that so Anita looks out over the crowd and the first 3 rows are just full of shitlords?
I do.
Wouldn't that create kind of a weird reaction to you? Oh, these are the people all sitting in my event who have spent their entire lives talking about how I'm an evil Satan bitch piece of shit and I'm a scam artist and all of these other things.
Right.
Maybe she shouldn't have done that. Maybe she should have had more restraint or something. But I just thought I understand her motivation. I understand. Look, there's all the fucking shitlords at my event where they shouldn't be here and I don't want them to be here. And they're just sitting here and being oh, if we're respectful, she's not going to be angry at us.
I still feel
videos about her.
I still feel like she had a responsibility to keep her shit together.
But she knows that these people are the ones who make all the videos about her. So she's going to be hey, you're the assholes who act like pieces of shit to me every single day.
There's a YouTuber named Kazumi Fowler who made I thought a good analogy. Have you guys seen The Never Ending Story?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, well, everyone
I'm still watching it.
in existence has seen that, I think.
So
I hope.
At the end of the movie, the kid, he rides on Falcor and he flies towards the bullies who were mean to him in the beginning of the movie, and they basically they scurry into a dumpster, right? And he says,
"Dude, we're just sitting here. Leave us alone."
Yeah, and the thing is that with the whole Anita thing, it's okay, if you saw just that scene of The Never Ending Story, you'd think this kid's a fucking asshole. What do these kids do to deserve this? But then, if you see the beginning of the movie, there's context there. She had a whole history, and to deny that is kind of and I'm not even saying some of the things that Sargon had to say about Anita weren't totally untrue, but still, it's you kind of gotta if you spend years trashing somebody, you kind of gotta take I think the shit. And another thing is if you listen to some of those women who were on the panel talking about that actually happening, I heard a couple of them talk about it, and they were yeah, that was even though that we kind of are not cool with what she said specifically, we needed something like that because we were all, they all knew people were. And they were like, we were all feeling really tense. And what are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to just sit on pins and needles for the entire for the entire panel that they were flown there? Like the real reason why they came to VidCon, they're just supposed to be subject to that. So the way I look at it is that like maybe they should have given her some sort of like, you know, some sort of like warning, or, you know, made some sort of public thing saying like, we do not condone what she said, but we are not going to take action because ultimately, you know, something like that would have been okay. But I certainly don't think that she should have been, you know, like put through the ringer for it. And at the end of the day, he did try to platform her. He took that, deplatform her. He took that so far that he actually asked people to write to Hank Green to get her kicked out. And at that point, there was no way that I could kind of go along with what he was doing.
Just really quickly, I mean, I was just thinking, like, you could make the same argument about the Neverending Story. You could say, he shouldn't have gone back to the bullies. Like, that was something that he should have left alone. He should have got on with his life and just gotten over the fact that those people bullied him. And I'm sure, like, you could make the same argument. Like, Anita should just get over the fact that these people were such douchebags to them. But to me, that provides context. To me, that provides context. That's like, I understand why he went back with his dragon to attack the bullies, and I understand why she got pissed off.
All right, let's let Fain have his 2 quick points, because then I'm gonna
2 quick points.
Tear somebody's asshole apart.
Oh God, it's not me, is it?
That sounds sexy.
Oh,
all right,
God.
There was another panel. There was another panel with the same situation with Francesca Ramsey and Kat Black, and same situation. They handle it way better. Point 1. My second point is
wait. Go back to the
first no
panels. Wait. Go back. Kat Black and who was the other one?
Francesca Ramsey.
What did they do?
They said their points, and they actually got some applause, and things went really well. Nobody.
When they had sort of a heads up of what was going to happen.
Yeah, well, I still don't think that's an excuse. Just because you were surprised.
Sorry, I just wanted context. You can do the second point.
And the second point is there were 0 panels presenting, any other side.
Okay.
So these guys,
do you know that he could have gone forward? He could shut the fuck up, Tim. He could have got. All you had to do was sort of put forward that I want this panel. That's how you did it. You submitted a panel. So fucking Anita Sarkeesian did the goddamn work, and Sargon was jacking himself off for being an edgelord and never submitted anything. And then bitched that he didn't have a fucking panel. Well, he didn't put forward and say he wanted a fucking panel, did he? Did he? Did he fill out the goddamn paperwork?
Yeah. Look,
I don't think he did.
I can't speak to that. What I can speak to is there were dozens of panels, and none had any other point of view than the ones presented. I went to multiple, and it's the same points. And
you could have just sent it in. Did you? Did Sargon? Did anybody? Did Amazing Atheist? Did anybody? Did Chris Ray-Gun? No, they fucking didn't. No, they fucking didn't. They went to the people who bothered to do the work, who bothered to figure out what was going on and say, okay, this is how this works. And this is how I'm going to do it. And I'm going to get this panel together, and I'm going to do the organizational shit, and I'm going to do the work as the woman I am who does the work. But no, some guy is got to come in and say, well, I'm a man and I don't have the same thing that you did. Well, did you fucking fill out the paperwork?
Okay, well, now wait a second. You can't use that tone there. That's not cool, because it's part of the argument of women getting left out a lot of things. And you know what? Next year, Those forms will be filled out. Those forms will be filled out.
No, they won't. No, they won't.
I'll make
Fuck
sure
off, they won't.
out,
Well,
but the thing
you
is,
might fill them out.
it won't change the panels. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe we're wrong. Maybe the panels will be. Maybe there'll be panels talking about other things for this group of people who felt like they were left out a little bit. But
don't tell me they were left out if they didn't do it. Don't tell me they were left out if they
I
didn't.
can't say that nobody filled it out. I don't have that information. I'm not.
Oh yeah, like I don't actually know. If
I'm not in the club.
I don't know anything about it.
I mean, let me ask you: how do you feel about Sargon telling his fans to write to Hank Green, essentially asking Anita to be deplatformed?
I didn't have a problem with it. She didn't have any more panels, and
yes, she did.
Did she?
Yes,
but let's say she did. Let's just say she did, for the sake of the argument.
No, okay. No, I didn't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with anybody if you want to tweet at the organization or organizer of the event and say you don't want this person to, you felt like they broke the rules or whatever. I think that's fair, no matter what side you're on. And that's one of the benefits of having a larger audience is you can do those things. She's got a large audience. There's plenty of people that had a large audience. I don't have a problem with voting in the Twitter box.
I'll tell you why I had a problem with it. If he legitimately felt humiliated and just was truly bothered by it, I ultimately wouldn't have a problem with it. But you can really tell by if you look at the chain of tweets, and maybe you weren't paying attention to the tweets as he was putting them out there. There was definitely, a lot of people just thought that he was totally kidding because there was this whole kind of just very blatant, oh my God, I'm such a victim kind of feel to it. It was like he was playing it up as if it was like a Saturday Night Live sketch where he was in a soap opera or something. And he even lied in a couple of those tweets. He lied specifically about me because earlier that day, someone had tweeted me a picture of some dude who it looked like it could be Sargon, but it clearly wasn't. And you don't see their face, but you see kind of like their butt. And so I tweeted it.
That was fake, I think.
What?
I think that was fake.
Yeah. And Sargon, I found out later that Sargon himself had tweeted that at some point, but I tweeted it and I said, the Sargon nudes are hotter than I thought. And he retweeted that, and he said something like, Anita's followers are posting fake nudes of me now at her request or something like that. He was basically making it sound like, one, like I was a fan of Anita, which I certainly am not, and two, that I did that to him specifically because I was kind of motivated by her to do that. Okay, fine. Look, you can say oh, it was all a joke, man. Well, then if it's a fucking joke, then it ceases being a joke once you get to the point where you're actually asking people to deplatform someone. And if it's a joke, then you are not being honest to the people around you about how, how legitimately hurt you were by all of this. And do you understand what I'm saying? It's just it felt super manipulated and just therefore just a fucking publicity stunt and nothing more.
Yeah. Can I say something on Fain's behalf?
Yeah.
It's just that I don't think that it's necessarily fair to put him on the spot for things that he maybe didn't have the time to research and to get all the information on. And that's as nice as I'm going to be. But I think that's something.
Okay. I haven't really been saying very much in this conversation. What is the current conflict that is occurring? I don't know what it is. I've
I think
only
that
been paying
I
like
think that
semi
there is an
attention.
ongoing conflict, but because that there's this idea that we're in a culture war, and that there are two sides to this culture war, and that there are, and I don't think any of that is true. I don't think the culture war is really two-sided, two absolute sides. I don't, without overlap or anything in between. I don't think that it's true that you have to pick a team and go with that team. I don't think that it's do or die. I don't think that YouTube is going to decide the world. I don't think, all of these things are things that I don't think.
Yeah, but
So, stop
Sorry.
interrupting me every minute.
I
God.
know.
I think what's happening that's really annoying is that groups are being kind of judged as a monolith. And when he spoke to Chrisiousity and said, like, yeah, that's right, I reported her, he went on to say, and I'll something like and the vaguest whiff of a breach of terms of service, and I'll report all of you. So he's putting everyone in one big fucking bag and acting as though, he says, like, we have to use their rules against them. And 90% of these people, they have nothing to do with these rules. He's just, he's just fucking putting them all in one box and then treating them accordingly. I mean, it's exactly like what fucking, what's his name, Kraut did. And yeah, I totally agree with you. I don't fully feel like I'm on a side myself. I kind of like to feel like, I don't know, like I'm sort of independent. I guess these days I've had more in common or just like, I don't know, felt like the SJWs, I hate that term, but I'll use it for lack of a better way, social justice people, I feel like they are treated like punching bags. So I feel like I have to speak up about it. And I don't know, I'm kind of really babbling here, but I do want to say one thing real quick. Somebody mentioned Boogie, and I actually do think that what Anita said in regards to Boogie was pretty terrible. I think that kind of, in my opinion, is more along the lines of like harassment, because he truly did
was shitty.
Yeah, because he had no prior history of being at all shitty to her. So yeah, that I would say is far more egregious than what he did than what Anita did to him.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, watching Boogie's video was extremely difficult. I felt really bad for him, actually. But I felt like that was a little bit more egregious, but really because Boogie was not prepared for that kind of thing, whereas Sargon certainly is, and Sargon's a big boy who can defend himself. But you know what? Anita, I feel like, has brought a lot of this onto herself. I know that there's been a lot of talk about Sargon and what he does. Look, Anita her tactics have been terrible. I feel like she's been disingenuous. She's taken advantage of the platform she's been given in an insincere way. And as a person who considers himself on the left, it's embarrassing to me. She embarrasses me.
I totally agree with you. Go on, and I'll. I basically I'm on the same page with you. Yet I still think that what she did was more or less okay. But go on.
Well, I mean, you know what? Chrissy's right. I wasn't really prepared to talk about this. I didn't know about these forums she's talking about, and I actually want to research that a little bit, because as just a VidCon attendee,
yeah,
the panels and all just seemed loaded. And if that's just random, it was spectacularly random. like well organized, on the left, extremely well done. And I mean, I consider myself on the left, but also a free speech advocate, and also I feel like I'm a left leaning former Kyrgyzstani, and I say that because the meme is over. Everybody, come on. Memes only have a shelf life of so long. We made the point. Then we made the point.
Yeah.
But the fact is, I am a liberal. I'm just not. I have some beef with the stuff that Anita was doing, and the way she was saying it, and the way she took advantage of the crowd. She deserves some criticism, and the criticism right now. I mean, I'm listening to everybody talk about Sargon. He's getting some pretty aggressive criticism, but I feel like if he was in a panel and everybody's sitting in the front row that criticizes Sargon, I feel like he'd handle himself okay. He's maybe this holding the mirror up to everybody's actions and saying, well, the other side does it. Maybe that's bad.
I've been on the other side of his mirror. So I do not think he'd handle himself okay to the slightest degree.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see that. Hopefully we'll get to see that.
I have seen it. I've seen it.
No.
And seen it and seen it. I have nothing to do with Sargon. I didn't make videos against him. I didn't insult him. I didn't do anything bad to him. I didn't report him. He reported me. He felt like I was somebody he needed to attack. So don't tell me.
Well, look, I can't defend that.
I haven't seen that mirror. And
I've said that. I felt like it went too far. And certainly you are a target that doesn't make any sense to me, other than the fact that, you're known in the opposition. But I can't defend that. I feel like there is a defense for the situation with Anita. The situation with you, I can't defend it, and I'm not here to defend it. I have no desire to defend it.
Dude, it's also the rationale that he used. He used the rationale of, he made it sound like he typically would not try and report her, but because of the fact that we have to start using their tactics against them.
That I don't agree with.
This whole fucking Saul Alinsky thing. He should just get rid of that book.
Look, I don't agree with we should use their tactics. You can't be on the side and say you're a free speech advocate no matter what the fuck, and then get frustrated with the other side to the point where you will sell out your own principles to make a point. I get that. I get that.
Their principles, then they cease to be principles. Go on.
Yeah, well, I get that, and I agree. So yeah, I think this has gone too far, and the free speech advocates, and the anti-SJWs. Look, there's those same hard factions in that group that you see on the anti-SJW side. You guys know the ones on your side who cause issues and cause you to be painted with a brush that you don't want to be painted with. I'm not saying Sargon is one of those far out there, because there's way farther. But the thing is, we're going to use their tactics against them, just keeps pushing people to the edges. And I do not want to go there. I want to remain center left. I want to be able to have these conversations with everyone, and not silence anybody else's opinion, even if I fucking think they're wrong or they're stupid. So it's hard for me, having never been, a big Sargon fan. It's like a lot of people, I agree with some of the things he says, and I disagree with other things. And I'm also tired of that, I'm a true liberal, which means I hate liberals, kind of thing. And but the fact of the matter is, I want to listen to his voice. I want to listen to what you guys have to say. So the farther
he
these
does
kind
have a
of
very
tactics push people apart.
smooth, sexy voice.
I
It does
will
have-
say,
That really helps. That really helps. It goes a long way on YouTube.
It makes it more listenable.
There are people who think that he got famous more or less just because he has that voice.
Well, it
My
does
voice
help,
is
and I feel like that
terrible.
hurts
It's
you.
always
charm.
complains about my voice. Do you know how many people come onto my videos just to complain about my voice?
They always say that you're just
Say-
about to start crying. That's what I've heard. They're always like,
Jeez, I'm not crying.
You
Why
do
did they
get-
say that?
There you go. There it was. There it was. That thing when you're like, "Jeez, I'm not about to start crying."
You're like, no, that's what we're talking about. You're gonna start crying.
Shut the fu- That is not me. That's just my voice. That's what I sound like.
Here, do
Yeah,
you
but like,
need
I
to-
think it's
always
because
sound like that.
commenters
Here-
they
here,
often
after
try to find a weakness. They try to find a way in to your personal feeling of anger or offense or like not liking something. So they're like, oh, it sounds like she could be sensitive about her voice. That's a good way to go at this.
Yeah, and you need to give
You
up.
sound like you're gonna cry.
You need to give up the sacrificial lamb. I'm sorry. That last shot of moonshine really got me in right in the.
Moonshine,
Right.
you're crazy.
But the you need to give up a sacrificial lamb. Like they can't. Our subscribers come at us with the gay meme. We embrace the gay meme, bro. We'll give you something you can beat the hell out of that dead horse. Beat it. It's fine. It's funny. Give them something. If you sit there and don't give them anything that you're willing to say, you're right. I sound like I'm about to cry when
Do
I
I
talk.
sound like I'm about to cry though?
I'm
don't
sorry
know.
that I upset you. Please don't cry.
Oh,
Here's a
fuck.
Oh my
off.
god, he's one of your commenters in real life. This is disgusting.
It's live trolling. It's my favorite.
Well, I
God,
don't know because I can't hear myself.
Well, the fact of the matter is, that's a thing that hurts us. I know it's the thing that hurts Vadim. Gracious Cat's voice. It's not smooth, sweet, velvety fog, bro. So it and us with all this Georgia we have in our mouth, it hurts us too. I get it, but there is an advantage when you listen to Crowd and whose accent I think is fake.
Particularly Crowd. Yeah, I mean, he always sounds like he's saying something smart, even when it's like something fucking stupid. That's incredible.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, he really melted down yesterday.
When I was growing up, my father
Oh my
used
god,
to take
Crowd
me
has been melting down for like a year.
the farm. And
Shut
at the
the fuck
farm,
up.
I would kill the cows. I sound very smart. Every
But
fucking
he
video of
does.
that guy.
And it does matter. It does matter. Showmanship matters a lot, and we have to remember just because this has been named the skeptic community doesn't mean that everybody in this community's got triple-digit IQs. No, it's still the norm applies. The norm applies here. There are people in this community
Tim
who are
and
on
I
the high
don't
end and the
think
low
that
end.
You guys are all in the huge digits of IQs. So we don't need that reminder. Thank you.
I don't know enough about IQ to know whether I.
I'm just saying we actually don't think you're all that skeptical.
Guys, I was wondering.
No, there's the skepticism has actually been lost a bit,
Is
and that is something
Fain
that
a
bothers me.
skeptic? I don't know what Fain is. He's just a guy who has a particular fashion sense who everyone's always talking about. That's what I know about him. Like everyone's always going on about who's the guy with the glasses with the spikes.
Hey, it's me, Chris Angel. Watch this.
Yeah, like that's his claim to fame.
A chance to see the pic that Sargon and I took at VidCon 2017
Oh my goodness.
when we hugged it out.
That's kind of romantic.
Yeah, he cried on my shoulder.
Sargon's the sub and you're the dom.
Really, we grew a lot as men, and
That's good. Was there tongue?
Yeah, where the
What?
hell were you, CC?
Ooh.
By the way, where the hell were you, CC?
where? Oh,
Yeah, what?
why are you calling me Cece?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry, my bad. What the fuck? I've been drinking moonshine, you bastard.
I will go next year. A lot of people told me that that there was, I don't know if this was bullshit, but a few people told me that there were there was chatter that they wish that I was there, which is nice to hear.
There was chatter. There was that chatter.
There was some chatter.
Yeah, there was chatter.
They were chattering.
Tim, did you just use the same comb you used on your cat to brush the dandruff off? To
I
fix
would
your
say yes, but
chocobo?
this came in a 3-pack, which means I could create a very good excuse that I used one of the other ones. But it's too late. I've already used this one. No, I used one of the other ones from the 3-pack. I totally swear by Jesus.
Should I go to VidCon next year? That's the question. I think that's the important question.
Yes.
We
But you don't show your face, so they just be like, "Who the fuck are you?" Oh my god, you got the voice.
Yeah, I mean, you have to bring like a cardboard mask, but you know, absolutely, you should go. And the one thing about it, and not everybody left with that, but I know some people did. Was the conversations across the aisle, and they did fucking happen. Really, when you're looking somebody in the eye, and right now I'm thinking of Riley Dennis, and I know it's really fucked up because then I immediately made a video about her. But anyway, just having a quick chat with her, like, it humanizes these people, and you're like, you know what? They're people with different opinions.
Did you?
Riley,
I do think that is like
a very sweet lady. She really
Riley
is.
had nothing to do with me, but like Lacey, I got to spend time with Lacey, and Lacey's really great. And man, also Lacey's hurt by by the response of her own side. Maybe a little butthurt, yeah. Maybe a little bit.
I get that.
Call me.
You know, I have to
contact
say
me.
that
Like
I think
I've given her an open invitation to talk to me. Like if she wants to talk to me. But
right now she's got a ton of people trying to talk to her, and
well, I'm not trying. I just gave her an open invitation.
I really enjoy her when I see her in like hangout situations. I think that she tweets a lot of stupid bullshit, and a lot of some stuff that is not stupid bullshit. She has some that are very. It's just. I don't know. I think that she experiences a lot of shame because of how she acted as a social justice person when she was more blue-pilled than she is now. And I think that she seems to be taking out some of that anger. And don't get me wrong, I'm sure that there are total morons that give her shit, but it's like there are also very intelligent people that bring up insightful points that she ignores. And I've seen her like basically paint people who were saying stuff like that, like, just like the worst of the worst. And and it's so I can see like how she, like, why people are pissed at her, like honestly. And I don't know, like I just hope that she kind of balances out and starts seeing that the truth is more in between the two extremes, because right now it seems like what
that actually, I think you're right on that. And that's personally where I am. The truth is a mix of all these things. It's in the middle. And trust me, I do feel like maybe right now she's listening more to the opposition than she is her side, but I think that's mainly because there's been a lot of fucking a lot of barbs coming from her side. It naturally makes you want to tune that out, and I'm sure it hurts. Like, I mean,
I gotta say, to a certain degree. Okay, at the end of the day, like, I don't even dislike Chris Reagan all that much because I think he's a genuinely talented and funny guy. He said some stuff that I've been like, holy shit, you seem way smarter than that insanely stupid thing that you just said. And I don't think you realize how what you just said is word for word pretty much like an alt-right talking point. Like there have been points like that with the guy, but I think he's funny. In spite of that, there just is this like a level of her putting up with with shitty people and like kind of like bragging about being their friends. And I'm not talking about Sargon here. That I'm just like for instance, she tweeted out this picture of Tim Pool. Okay, and I don't know if you know much about that guy. Now there are some decent things about there. Like he's a reporter and he has some like decent stuff in his past, but recently like he said things to the effect of like that Huffington Post and InfoWars were equally full of shit. He said that Alex Jones never really lies. He basically has become like a tool of like the alt-right, not alt-right media, but like the alternative right media. And rather than alt-right, you understand the difference there, right? I'm not saying like the actual alt-right is a political group. So anyway, my point is that like, you know, like she made some sort of joke saying something to the effect of like, oh, I'm hanging out with these two Nazis. Like she was being so sarcastic, talking about the way that some idiots would paint these people. But the thing is like, that's just an easy way to kind of sidestep legitimate criticism.
Well, look, I think,
you know what? I think we should probably. Why am I so centrist all of a sudden?
Well, okay, like Bering actually said something vaguely interesting in the chat because, like, normally
No, he didn't. I don't believe you.
It was vaguely interesting.
Oh, come on, Chrissy.
Normally he doesn't say anything
I
of
hate that shit.
But he basically said, like, you know, like, so Fain is he's being dogpiled right now by like 3 SJWs or whatever.
Hey, I've been very nice to you.
Is that what's happening? Like, are we like social justice warriors? Or are we trying to shame you into something?
You're shaming me? Well,
I guess,
look,
you know, I suppose we are.
Well, I don't consider myself. Look, I hear what you're saying. I do feel like we've all been drinking, and maybe the you know, we're getting a little bit stronger in our convictions. I mean, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon for Tim. He must be wasted face. You know how early you like to start drinking. 4. Oh my God!
I'm drinking Tiger beer, which is high quality. I don't know if it's high quality.
The thing is, like, you know, back to this Lacey thing right now. You got to remember the lens that she has been looking through. She had a large audience, and people like Tariq Nasheed. You know, I was there, you know, in the room when the "Shut Up Tariq" hashtag started, because Tariq was, just because we all hung out and had some pictures, started calling us suspected white supremacists, and that fucking pisses me the fuck off.
I just want
to say bullshit. But the thing is, like,
an SJW, and I want to. Well, I don't know what an SJW is, but Tariq Nasheed is a hotep. All right, let's be honest. He's a
racist asshole.
Which
He's
is
a racist
another word
asshole.
I don't actually know who he is. I've just heard of him.
Idiot, and nobody like in the social justice community takes the guy seriously or even knows him. Or I mean, so
people who know him think he's an asshole.
So I'm not even saying that you're like really saying that he's legitimately like part of the community that Chrisiousity is, and I guess maybe now me too. It's really weird. It's really weird that I of all people, Barry, do you really fucking think I'm an SJW for fuck's sake? I mean, these people, there's so many SJW, and I don't like the term.
I'm going to tell you I'm going to tell you that right now.
What?
Tariq Nasheed is a misogynist, bigoted, pro-rape, pro-treating women badly.
Get to the one thing. Get to the one most obvious thing. You named all the other secondary things. The most obvious thing, he is a racist. All those other things, yes, he's that too.
Who the fuck is that guy?
And he's a Bill Cosby rape apologist.
Did he really make a song called "Wash Your Ass"?
Yeah, he did.
Because I talked to Chris about that, Chris Reagan or whatever, and I was like, "Is that real?" And he was like, "Yeah, he did." I'd never even heard of it. Like, it's really weird. Like, people are always going on about shit that I
We
do
have
not care about.
nothing
You know,
to do with him, Tim.
what's kind of
He
like
has
stuff I
nothing
don't
to
care
do
about.
with
you know?
us. We don't have anything to do with him.
Who, Tariq
I'm
Nasheed?
going
Like,
to
who
get in
is he?
trouble again, like I haven't already been in trouble on this very live stream. You guys are really screwing me over. But it's the truth that nobody gives a shit about him on the social
All right, well,
justice.
then disown this son
I've
of a
heard
bitch.
about him about a
Disown
month
it.
ago.
Like, who knows him?
Who
Like,
is
it's like
he?
asked to disown.
But he's probably been around for a while.
I know. Look,
Yes.
maybe you don't, but what I'm
No,
saying
we have
is,
nothing
Wait.
to do with it.
So Fain, when did you first hear about this man?
actually, Tariq Nasheed, earlier this year, I actually saw him on TV before I realized he was going to be somehow significant to me. But
Okay, yeah.
when he tweeted a picture I was in,
Right.
and called me me and the people I was in the picture with, white supremacists. Well, you know what? Then I bothered to put him on my goddamn radar. Then he mattered to me because it's not fucking true. If there is, I don't know any white supremacists outside of Fat Pat. He is clearly problematic. And
I agree.
God.
I agree.
all right,
Motherfucker.
finally, man. Damn, look, it's middle ground, everybody. Fat Pat's terrible.
Guys, when it
That
comes,
bad.
I have to. I'm sorry to bring this back to me, but the SJW thing. I mean, like, I totally think the term is retarded. Again, like, I don't. I kind of use it sort of.
Can't describe stuff as retarded on an SJW channel.
Like,
Super Jesus Warrior? You think
I'm an
that's
SJW. Stop it.
with just like how fucking raunchy CC gets, there's so many people who kind of would most people would categorize as SJWs who want nothing to do with me because of things that I've said inside those videos, because of the manner in which I've discussed Islam, because of because I made a video that defended rape jokes. And that's still the kind of person that I am, you know.
Hey, Vadim, look, we know that you're a cat. There are people out here that know your sense of humor. They've watched your cat's channel for a long time. They know your cat is not an apologist for Islam and all this other crap. That's not what this is about. It's about you. Your cat's fine.
Like, to me, this
You
is a little...
are an SJW crazy person, Vadim, and you need to admit it right here on this stream right now.
To me, this is a little cringy because it's like somebody calls you an SJW. So fucking what? Like, ever since I've gotten on YouTube, because I'm like a progressive liberal YouTuber who likes to talk about stuff that I care about on the left.
Oh, you're an SJW crap. Will you shut up, Tim?
You know, but it doesn't matter. Like, who fucking cares? You know, like when Sargon made a video to me, he was just like, "You're regressive. Let's take that in." Like, who cares, man?
The connotation, dude. It's like, okay, like, you know, a certain sense, I wouldn't fucking care, because there are aspects of social justice that I think are totally fine, totally cool.
I love social justice. Like, I bathe in social justice. That's what I'm all about.
Are people listening about social justice?
The word has the connotation of being like morally, like, you know, getting on a fucking soapbox and thinking you're better than everybody else. And I don't think
that's the human condition.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think that the anti-SJWs display those qualities just as much as the supposed SJWs do. But
call things social justice warrior doesn't mean I don't love social justice. Like, it doesn't matter how much they try to turn it into a pejorative. I'm always going to think that, like, helping the least empowered people in society get a step forward is going to be good. Like, it doesn't matter how you label it. I'm always.
Damn, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna go get another thing to drink.
I'll stop interrupting everybody.
No, be talking.
My problem, dude.
I'll be right back.
Sorry for Dave. I was cutting you off. What are you saying?
No, I mean, I guess I don't have much else to say besides that. I mean, my problem is not like I don't know. Ultimately, it's fine, and you know, and there's so many fucking idiots who, like, you know, if you're just slightly, like, if you're even like as left as Hillary Clinton, who was pretty fucking to the right, they're gonna call you an SJW. They're gonna call you a fucking commie or something. So I guess it's pretty inevitable, but it's just like, to portray me as someone who is really like kind of uptight about these issues. Yeah, I do kind of speak up about this shit, but that's just because there's a lot of people who say really dumb things that just, and a scarcity of people who will speak up about it. Right. I get so many comments from you know, not just like fans, but also channels who have far bigger, like, you know, audiences than I do, who say things like, dude, I'm really fucking glad that you speak up about these things, because I don't want to do it, but like I get really tired of seeing all this nonsense. And I don't know, I don't really have much of a point here. I'm just gonna keep babbling unless somebody fucking cuts me off. But
all right, motherfucker, let me fucking sorry, look, I can pick up a cue when I hear one.
Thank you. Look,
the fact of the matter is it's time for the radical centrists to start speaking up. The people who can fucking see this whole thing can step back and look at it and say there's things from different ideologies that we could put together and make a working thing. It's not all one way or the other. We have a two-party system in America that has led to, that must mean there's a two ideology system. And that has become so motherfucking fucked up that free speech advocates are now allies with Christian, you know, with hardcore Christian conservatives, like the Keks and the Christian evangelists are buddies. Like, this doesn't fucking make sense. There's two realms that we can go to. Doesn't make sense. One thing, the reason we're all sitting here having this discussion is we agree on one thing. There is no God. Everybody here who is religious and thinks there is some sort of deity, raise your motherfucking hand. Nope, you're not here, because we were all in the same goddamn community 2 years ago. You didn't give them enough
time to do it. Like, they could have been one person. And they would have just been like, oh my God, I feel really out of place. I should not have put my hand up. But God, yeah, I believe in Yahweh.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
I just got back. I don't believe in God, so it doesn't matter.
There's no one here that believes in God.
You're the only Jew here, Tim. Nobody else calls him Yahweh except
I'm not
Jews,
practicing.
Tim.
I don't count.
Have I been terrible? Guys, have I been terrible to people?
Like who?
I don't know. Somebody.
Look, Chrisiousity, look, sometimes you will drop into my Twitter feed and be really mean to somebody. I've seen it.
You're a bully.
You can be mean.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think you're a bully. I think that you have a lot of conviction for your views, and that's fine.
Get off the side.
But the thing is, we're all here because none of us believe in God. And that includes...
What do you mean? We're all here because none of us believe in God.
That's why this
very was strange thing.
Where?
That's why all... Don't you see the same things in common? Who on your side? Who on the SJW YouTubers? Who on there believes in God?
That's a slur. That's a fucking slur. SJW, could you please take that back?
Okay, on the...
Social justice advocate.
Exactly. Yes.
SJA side of the. All right, we'll change the letter. Chrissy. Who on the SJA? And you know they're going to turn that in asshole in about 3 seconds. Wait, I just did it. Who on your side believes in God? No, because all this evolved from one community Where the thing we're skeptical about was your claim that there was Allah or Jesus or Thor or what actually Thor's awesome comic book. The thing is, the reason we're all lumped together and there's not people on your side who are religious or people allied with Sargon who are the leaders of churches is because this is a community that started with a different purpose and became political in 2016.
That's a little bullshit because of Jordan Peterson and Milo Yiannopoulos.
What?
Yeah.
Really? I think you're making Milo way more. First of all, I don't even know who the other person you were talking about.
Peterson, you don't know who Jordan Peterson is.
No.
Stephen Crowder also.
Stephen Crowder's an asshole. I know.
You don't know who Jordan Peterson is? Seriously.
Yeah.
Jordan Peterson, come on.
The guy the guy in Canada who doesn't like
he's Canadian.
He
You
doesn't
guys
like
fucking
pronouns. He
trolling
hates
me.
pronouns.
Trolling me. Like, look, I know two Canadians, Logic and Armored Skeptic, and nobody pays attention to either one of those guys. Jordan Peterson. What the fuck?
Well, Armored Skeptic
is about Jordan Peterson, and Logic made a video. Armored Skeptic's video had a ton of misrepresentations and just shoddy research, and Logic did a response to it, and it was pretty embarrassing. Like, it was pretty brutal.
I feel very awkward when you mention like Armored Skeptic in the same sentence as Logic because one of them is not like the other. And I just leave it to your imagination which one.
Really? Because we're right now writing another song about them because we think they're the same thing.
Oh, I can't believe that Skeptic called him a fucking parody or like a ripoff of himself, considering that Logic destroyed him so bad.
Yeah, well, we're one of the lucky group to get one of the official stickers, the Skeptic clone stickers. That's right, we have one. Logic doesn't have one.
But does any of this criticism get back to Armored Skeptic? Like, does
yes?
That's the thing that I'm very confused about because it seems like
he hears all this. He hears it all. He actually does. He pays attention to the internet.
He just keeps going ahead and making these incredibly badly researched and argued videos, like no matter what anybody says, you know. So that's why I'm confused.
Look, I am dreading the motherfucking day that Pat and I have enough fucking subscribers that people start fact checking us. That will be the end of the goddamn world for me.
Don't start talking about extremely complex subjects and doing no research, and then you'll be fine. You know, so like I feel like this is a bed of his own making. He's created his own. I was going to say created his own. That doesn't make sense. His own grave, and then he's just jumping into it.
Bearing
weird.
to me. He said, "Sorry, as you and your SJW mates were ganging up on Fain, Tim banned me from the chat. So I
didn't ban him. I put him in a timeout. He can't wait 300 seconds.
So I couldn't answer your question." And then he said, "And yes, I do think you're an SJW."
Oh, damn! You're an SJW.
Yeah, well, he thinks that because I forget what the examples are, but there have been times where he's said some really stupid shit.
People are already believing the lie. My own mod.
And so now I'm an SJW because I call out the stupid shit. Anyway,
honestly, by Bearing standards, Fain is also an SJW. So it's
okay. I made Puppetsaw Podcast into a mod, and he's like, "Why did you ban Bearing? So you already believe Bearing's lies, and I fucking made you a mod? Why did I do that?"
Well, Tim, why did you kick him out at all?
I didn't. It was a timeout. He could come back after 300 seconds. He chose not to come back.
You put him in timeout like you're...
It's his fault.
You're a modern parent to like, you're in timeout. My parents beat the shit out of me, dude. Make a decision.
He could have chose to come back, but instead he went to Twitter and he whined.
Well, because you can't put him in timeout on Twitter.
Because he was very rude to me. That's why I put him in timeout.
What did he say that was so rude to him?
I would have to go back and I'd have to look, and it's quite far
Tim,
away.
you can't even remember it, but it was. Come on, guy. Tim, I know you. You're the thickest skinned of your ilk.
I hate him on a personal level. I think he's a horrible human being. I think
Really?
he's a total.
Is that
yes,
true?
he's
Is
a
that
liar.
honest?
Yeah,
Everybody
absolutely.
hates
He's
him
a
on our side.
fucking liar, and I just have no interest in his opinion. So he was rude to me, so it's like I put him in timeout.
I do think that we should say this and be on it. Now I'm going to get in trouble again. What am I doing?
Come on. Come on, give it to
Daring,
me.
he's a liar. You cannot talk to this guy about
Barry
anything.
is the
He's a total liar.
most
He's just
hated
so full of
person.
crap.
Like, there was a conversation about, like, well, who do we hate the most? Baring! Like, you know,
Okay,
everybody.
all right, he's back.
Oh, you took a vote? You took a vote? Everybody
I'm so
in the-
happy I came back because
Well, it was
you know,
just one of those sort
again.
of general conversations you have. Have you ever had this
Okay.
conversation? Like, this
I think
guy's
so.
okay. This guy's okay. Well, who do you not like? Baring! Nobody likes Baring. Why? You know, like, compare him to Undoomed, who says the same things that he does and does the same things he does. But Undoomed doesn't pretend to be nice. Baring does.
Is
Baring
that
pretends that he is not a complete piece of shit, but he really is. He's a liar, and he's a complete piece of shit. I'm going to get in so much trouble.
well? Look,
God,
I can't
tell me
claim
to
to
stop.
hear. I can't claim to know everything Bering said. I will say though, if you're in a conversation with Bering and he's being reasonable, then be reasonable. He does come across as a reasonable guy. He
Only to you, because you
Reasonable
know
way.
he doesn't come across
only to me,
us.
like, because me and him don't agree on a lot of politics. I will say that
Not only to you, but to people like us, to people he considers the enemy, he does not come across as a reasonable person ever. Not ever.
Well, what he
And
does
people have
is that-
tried. Tim has tried. Ranting Feminist has tried. Why is nobody shutting me up? Because they know
he
I'm
deliberately
drinking and it's going to be in
misinterprets
trouble.
situations all the time. I mean, like, as someone who I've watched maybe, like, I don't know, 15 of his videos, and it's very rare that I think that he does not kind of take things really out of context. He does it a lot. It's really, and that's really kind of things that I've kind of gotten him on his case about.
Do you
I don't
know
know.
how many people have come to me and been like, why did you tell people to punch Richard Spencer? I didn't. I said it was wrong to punch Richard Spencer. Well, and then they send me his fucking video where he pretends that I said that. Instead of where I specifically said, I don't endorse it. I think it's wrong.
Look, I want to be on the record right now as a
On the
as
record.
a well-known on the record. This is the record. On the record, well-known, as a well-known attention whore. Please make a video about me, Bering, and say whatever you motherfucking like. I can take it,
He doesn't
baby.
have a personal problem with you, so he probably wouldn't
he
do
has
that.
no reason. He has no reason to do that.
Yeah, and if he
All
has
right, you know what?
a
For a
personal
bear,
issue,
you're kind of fat and lazy. What about that?
he's a human.
There we
though.
go. But what?
He's a human.
no. That is ridiculous. Now you're making claims I cannot stand
I'm
behind.
sorry, slander.
But the thing, all right, look, the thing is, he does. I do watch Bering's videos. I watch you guys' videos as well. I don't comment.
You do not.
a lot.
You're
I
lying.
do.
You don't. I don't believe you for a second.
I actually do. But the thing is, you can't say, well, he pretends to be nice. What? Don't you see that if that's true, if he's just pretending to be nice, don't you see how that is a move that is defeating you? It's working. Why don't you pretend to be nice?
What?
If you have to fake it.
Where are you going with
He's
this?
a liar.
This is weird.
Well, I mean, just be nice. Holy shit. If that's the problem, it's because you think you're coming across as not being nice. And Vadim, I'm sorry, I still don't. I like in my mind to have it put you in this SJA, I guess is what we're calling it now, group. I've been watching you too long, and I've seen your opinions criticizing both the left and the right to believe that you're an ideologue for one side or the other.
Yeah, I do want to say that it's not like it would be the worst thing ever. It's not like Tim and Chrisiousity. Like I think they're perfectly fine people. Like they're cool, Like it's not like I really.
Tim's kind of a beta.
It's just the whole connotation of like there's a lot of things that again that CC has said and done that like the stereotypical social justice warrior never like could get away with saying and doing. So
Jesus warrior.
We do not wholesale embrace Creationist Cat or endorse Creationist Cat's videos. We just, he's pretty funny, so that's okay.
Well, the thing is, he doesn't believe in God. I don't know why you guys don't see that there are bridges here. And
we don't see that.
Just take some of them.
Like seriously.
I believe you're being disingenuous.
All Rebecca Watson had to say was, I don't really think that guys should, get into elevators with me at 4 a.m. and hit on me. It's a little creepy. And kaboom. And fucking kaboom. And yet we don't take the bridges. Like all that had to happen was nothing. All that had to happen was go, that's
okay.
opinion,
Well, if
whatever.
what we're coming down to is one side or the other has to be flawless, we are fucked. Because it's not going to happen. People are people. And again, we go back to that IQ thing. This community has the same median IQ as the rest of the goddamn planet. Not everybody's fucking smart. And a lot of people are reactionary and they're bitches and they're fucking politically driven and partisan as fuck. But look, somebody's got to start it. And if you're going into a conversation, let's say you're going into a conversation with Barry and you're just sure he is going to sell you out. He is going to fucking misrepresent you. He's going to be a shitbag. Then your train of thought is going to make that happen. You're going to lead it in that direction.
Tim went into conversations with Bering. And I was there. Tim went into conversations with Bering thinking that he could talk to him like a person. Tim was convinced.
And so Tim, you came out thinking you were wrong about that. That you can't talk to Barry. You can't talk to Barry.
You just explained that you made
like what the hell are you guys talking about?
The way that you explained that makes it sound like it's the other person's fault for how Bering represents them. When that's more on Bering than it is the person he's talking to. If he's going to be dishonest.
All right, so Bering came out with a video, and the original, I was on a live stream and I said something about Bering that misrepresented him. And I admit that, right? He came out and he had the big liar, Chrisiousity a liar. So I said, well, yes, you know what? I get that because I was just talking. I didn't fact check every word that I said, right? So I sort of exaggerated things, but I was honest about that. I was honest about that in the video. I said, that is true. But, here's this other point, and here's what I'm going to talk about, and here's what I'm going to say about that. It would have been so easy for him to just take that and be like, okay, well, she's trying, and now I'm going to try. But no, he was She's a man hater. She hates all men. She hates everybody. She lies all the time. She's going to do this. She's manipulative. She's this. She's that. She's fucking Cruella de Vil. Whatever. Like, that's how... And then I get thousands of people in my comment section.
You're so lucky.
Well, they don't give me money, do they? No, they don't. Thousands of people in my comment section telling me what a cunt I am. Constantly.
Look, I just want to go back to a previous point that we were at before, which was about the whole culture war thing and the us versus them aspect of all of this. I reckon, like, I am not part of any kind of culture war. I just think I've got two criteria for whether I will interact with you. One is, do we have I'll interact with anybody, but if we have a similar ideology or a similar point of view on the world, it's going to be a lot easier for us to get along. And B, are you a total asshole or are you not? You know? So if you're not a fucking asshole, piece of shit bastard who I just like cannot relate to because you keep treating everybody like crap, then we're probably going to get along, you know. And if we have like a similar ideology, it's more likely that we'll get along. It's not like a guarantee because there's like people with my same ideology that I cannot get along with, but that's going to help the situation. So if you're somebody who has a completely different ideology than me and you're a fucking asshole, how the hell are we supposed to get along? Like, it's not going to happen. There's no way to do it, you know. And it's not a culture war. It's not a culture war. It's basically just like, who do I kind of agree with? And I quite agree with these people, so I can be around them more. Are they total douchebags? Mostly not. So that kind of helps, you know.
Let's not bring the douchebags into it.
Well, but that's the two. That's the 2 points: ideology and shittiness. You know.
All right, I think that we have given Bearing and everybody else enough. They're going to be making 27 videos about this. So can we should probably go unlive and just continue this conversation.
Dead?
Well, we've been on for a while. That's true.
Yeah, look, actually, I need to go to the whorehouse. I'm sorry. What do you guys do on Friday night?
Just chill.
Sorry.
I
had a couple of drinks. Don't you judge me.
The nearest whorehouse is probably in town in Wellington, and it's probably about like 20 minutes away, probably.
So yeah, I get that. That's a long, far way.
I don't know what
Chrisiousity if you want to be there by 5 o'clock, you need to get moving.
Well, like Chrisiousity, where's your nearest whorehouse? It's probably
for me. I actually haven't timed it out. That's weird, right? I don't know. And I wouldn't call it a whorehouse. I would say sex workers because I'm very politically correct. And I appreciate the professionalism.
I was thinking that, like, fucking so Fain he's a problematic human being.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. I am problematic, and I will say I really enjoyed hanging out with you guys tonight. It is I don't know. I mean, I think you guys are good people. And you know, I've known Chrisiousity for a while. Tim, you just recently realized I existed, even though I was like one of your first 200 subscribers. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's like whatever. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter. I said it's fine, dude. I was in one of your videos. I was in one of your Platypus videos where you actually called me ugly. It's fine. Like, I don't know, whatever. Oh yeah, like the second one.
I can actually not remember that.
Yeah, well, if you watched it, it's very
you
clear.
really hold on to shit. Like,
you are so ugly.
You should
just
get over things.
ugly. No, whatever you say doesn't matter because of your ugliness.
It's
Yeah,
kind of like
Levi's-
offense is not taken. No,
It's
wait, I got
given.
that wrong. It's not given. It's not given. Offense is only
No.
taken. That's your fault
Is that
for being
what it is?
offended.
Uh.
You should be a strong
Stupid.
person.
You freaking SJAs. SJA holes.
I blame you for my actions. That's how it works.
You ruined it already.
Already,
Really?
Chrisiousity.
I was actually
There's
just wondering,
the meme.
what the hell is Vadim eating? Like, what is that? It looks like
Berries.
Fancy feast. Oh,
I was
berries.
thinking
Berries.
that. I
I
was
knew it.
thinking
I knew it. That was my next answer.
that's very healthy.
All right. To take us,
Some strawberries, some blueberries.
I would never sit around eating berries. I'd probably eat something much worse.
take us offline because I have a very rude gesture to make to Sophane, and I don't want to offend the rest of the.
I feel like you were getting along this whole time, and now the whole facade is gone.
It's gone. That's right.
We're going 2 knuckles deep.
Okay. All right. Bye, everybody.
Later.